Hey everybody, how y'all doing tonight? I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. Mine was all right, productive. Went to bed kind of late last night. Got a lot done though. Probably gonna do exactly the same thing tonight and tomorrow and the next day. So, hey, that's that's the life of the night owl. Yes. Ooh, pardon me. Oh yeah. Howdy, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. I don't even know who's here. Well, I know 3 out of the 4 people who are here. One man show. Greetings and salutations. Dwayne Erickson, good evening or morning. That's true, because we got people here from all over the world, especially with as late as I start. There's people on the other side of the planet that are like, oh, you're awake. That's weird. You're American. Why are you awake? And Zachariah. Howdy, Zachariah. Good to see you, man. It's nice to see other people that say howdy. I'm not just the only crazy one saying howdy. The lovely Courtney doing this evening? I don't know. Where is the lovely Courtney? Where be is the lovely Courtney? She may be somewhere. I mean, she's clearly somewhere. Just who knows where. Maybe she'll drop in a little bit later. She has been on she hasn't been feeling well. Her schedule's been a little bit out of the norm for her. So yeah, we'll just see now. Yeah, okay. I don't see nothing from Courtney, so I don't know, man. We'll find out when she gets here. But there she is. What the fuck? I just opened this. You're talking about me? Yeah, you know why? Because One Man Show said, "How is the lovely Courtney doing this evening?" Hence, I'm talking about you. Isn't that weird? It's things that you just happen to come in for some reason. Or Dwayne, did you mean Catherine? Were you asking about Catherine? Because you said Courtney. This is Courtney. Were you asking? Since you said at One Man Show, I just realized. Morning, Steeg. I'm doing great, man. How about you, brother? How about you? How's your wait, it's Wednesday morning for you now, huh? It's hump day. Oh yeah. Let me make sure actually that I don't have this open in some other tab and it's just suddenly gonna start making noise on me. I'm just gonna be sure about that real quick before I move along here. Yep, nothing. Because that's happened. That's happened when I'm just going. All of a sudden, I hear myself talking. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's me. Fucking weirdo. Yeah, see? So, not weird. Like, Dwayne, I think Dwayne meant to ask One Man Show how Catherine's doing. How is Catherine doing this evening? If she happens to be there. I went hiking for 7 kilometers in the snow again. Oh, cool. Do you have any Bigfoots out there, Steeg? You guys got any Bigfoots? Are you close? How close are you to like real wilderness? Do you hear any Bigfoot stories? Because I've been checking out this channel that I've linked to a couple people now. I linked to Ords and Pete. When I see them talking about Bigfoot, I was like, oh, you guys talk about Bigfoot too? I mean, I haven't exactly specifically talked about Bigfoot, but I talk about all anything, esoteric, aliens, cryptids, all this shit, cryptozoology, yada yada yada. So I'm about that life. And so when I seen them talking about it, I said, hey, I found this channel. It's called How to Hunt, I think. How to Hunt something. I'll have to check it out. But yeah, man, it's a great channel. The dude, pretty much, it's a hunter. It's a hunter up in the wilderness, up in British Columbia. What side of Canada is British Columbia on? British Columbia. I'm an American. Don't know my geography. Let's look. Oh, it's the West Coast. Sick. All right. Awesome. I wonder if I could get that guy on a live stream sometime. That'd be fucking cool. That'd be cool to just sit there and talk to this guy about Bigfoots and stuff. But yeah, love the channel. It's freaking great. Pretty much, it's a hunter, just reading emails that he gets from other hunters and wilderness type people who go out into like the straight up hardcore wilderness and have encounters that they either can't explain or that they are like, no, I saw this shit looking at me. There was one he read from a video that I saw today about this dude who was just going through the woods and was like, oh, cool, found his path. And then just before he went to go on that, he slipped and fell, and fell like 15, 30 feet down the steep steep like hillside, sprained his ankle and his knee. And so he was like kind of crawling and limping, trying to get back to civilization. And he was all fucked up, and he's following a river, and big ass panther rolls up. Big ass panther shows up and is like, and panthers, like, I mean, especially big cats. To big cats, we're small. And so the panther's like, oh shit, hey, and starts toying with them and starts cornering them. Is like, wow, like jumping at him. The guy's like, oh shit, just like backing up, ain't shit he could do. And then out of nowhere, a rock, a big fucking rock, as big as a softball or bigger, big fucking rock just whacks the panther in the side of the head so hard, the panther's head, because, you know, they got the long necks, swivels around and hits its own body. So it's just like, bah! And he said he saw the blood and shit, and the cat took off. I'm pretty sure it survived. But dude, fucking big, and that's a common story with the Bigfoots, they be throwing rocks at people. But he looked over and saw this big shadow at the tree line, and he felt safe, because some of the stories are like Bigfoots be fucking with you and trying to scare you away, or Bigfoots be rescuing you. It's kind of one or the other. But this Bigfoot saved his ass, and then he turned around, and when he turned back, it was gone. And then out from in front of him, just a big old stick was tossed at him, like that he could use as a crutch. And that was it. And he went home, and he felt safe on his way home, as he was like crutching hobbling his ass back to safety. So there's some wild Bigfoot stories out there, man. And what I like is that he's talking, because for a long time we didn't really get none. And so I'm looking around I was like, you know what? I believe in the possibility of Bigfoot, but I would imagine that there would be more stories if it was a thing. I didn't think about the ridicule that people get when they talk about it. And so nowadays, there's, you know, with YouTube, with kind of the independent resources that we've got here, there's a lot more people coming out with their stories and telling their stories about Bigfoot. So there's a lot of shit out there, man. It's nuts. Pardon me. Let me take this down real quick. One man show. Anybody talking about me? Just saying. Hey, it's Stunt Brat. How you doing, beautiful? Welcome back. You are missed when you're not here. Howdy. Let me see. Sure thing, you're just talking about me. I get it. Try and cover it up. It's okay. I showed you the straight up fucking message. No Bigfoots. Got close to a deer, though. 6 meters away from it. Oh, nice. Cool, man. Yeah, deers, they'll the 6 meters isn't far. That's about 18 feet for all the Americans. That's not far. How far is that? I've been about that far from a black bear and its cubs. Oh, I was in Yosemite. No. Was it Yosemite or the Redwoods? They're next to each other. I think I was in the Redwoods, actually, up in Northern California. And I'm out there. We're going down this trail because we went to this waterfall. And on our way back, there's this crowd of people just stopped in the middle of this. Like, bitch, get the fuck out of the way. We're trying to get back to our campsite here. And they're all taking, and we realize, oh, there's something up there. Oh, it's a black bear. It's a black bear and her fucking cubs. Like, the little cubs are there, like, playing or whatever. And this black bear shows up, and she's like, she kind of sees the people, is very like, let's get the fuck out of here. She like nudges her kids to go the other way, takes the bit. But I was like, ooh, we're lucky that bear was in a, let's just go attitude instead of a, I'm going to fuck up all these filthy humans. Like, the mood really changes the encounter. Sorry I messed up, but yes, because I love you all. I love you too, Stunt. Catherine is feeling better than she has been. Good. She doesn't deserve to feel the way she's been feeling. Hello, Courtney. It's not okay to ask how you are when you're not here. Yeah, right? As if people don't care. Even though we've clarified that we weren't mean, it wasn't meant for her. But people do. People have asked about you, Courtney, when you're not around. Like, where's Courtney at? So yeah, it's happened. It's happened. Because you left. You're here, then you're gone. People are like, where'd she go? So yeah. Greetings, Dr. Forbin Colossus. Let me see. One man show, it's very flattering that I was being spoken of. I have no problem with it. I'm just busting his chops. Hey, what's up, Kitty Bear? Leaving a like. I have to go to the dentist. Oh man, that's a bummer, dude. I'm sorry about the dentist visit. Thank you for dropping the like and hanging out. You know what? You can throw me on with your dentist. Maybe he'll enjoy hearing about UFOs and shit. He's like, while I'm drilling your teeth, I don't mind this talk about UFOs and whatnot. So the new UFO docs are from 2010. Not so new, I think. Well, newly released. Did I put new? No, I just put UFO documents released. I did not misspeak. The town I live in has a Bigfoot Society group or something. We're a huge Bigfoot area. I'm doing talk to text, so there's a lot of mistakes, more than when I type. Got you. Actually, that was pretty good. There was only a contextual error. But yeah, talk to text. That makes sense. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Really, the town you live in has a big Bigfoot Society. We're a huge Bigfoot area, so there's a lot of Bigfoot sightings and incidents and stuff in your area. Do you know any of the stories? Have you heard anything? What you got? I mean, I want to do I want to talk about Bigfoot, mostly on another day, really get into Bigfoots. But if we got anything to get started here, bring it to me. We are going to talk about aliens and shit, though. I was bummed there was no Pete tonight. I was like, oh, just, what'll get me in the mood? Talk about aliens? Talking about aliens, like with Pete, but no Pete stream. Breaking my heart, Pete. Breaking my heart, man. Breaking my heart. I appreciate the like, though. If anyone else wants to drop a like, if you're having fun, if you gotta go, etc. I'm gonna get to some Instagram nonsense in a second, and then we'll get to talking about aliens and all this fun stuff. Oh my God, there's the beautiful stunt brat. If I understand correctly, ducks were released due to a FOIA put forth by the Sun some time ago. Yes, correct. That is correct. Those are precisely the documents we're talking about. Dwayne, many hugs sent to you and the beautiful Rita. Damn. There it is. Squirrels and chipmunks seem to be my thing. My backyard, my outback, is full of critters. Sometimes I watch them through the windows, my back porch, and they sit on their branches looking back. That's sweet. That's so sweet. Do you make friends with them? Do you go out and feed them, give them nuts and shit? Docs requested from the defunct ATIP, which doesn't exist anymore, unless it is Luis Elizondo, who is just up for the money, methinks. What's this? The what? The ATIP. What is the ATIP? Not ATI physical therapy, which is what comes up in the stock exchange, apparently. Access to information privacy. Access to information and privacy online request. Is that what you're talking about? Canada. This is Canada. Sorry, this online service is currently not available. Okay. So that's a Canadian thing. But yeah, what I'm talking about came from the Sun. So yeah, if that's a different thing, I don't mind if you want to forward that along. Kai, have a black bear climbing up to you in your tree stand. No, I don't want that. If that happens, I'll probably just throw down like a little thing of honey or some beef jerky or something. Just, hey, go away. Go. And he'll go, oh shit. What? Let me climb back down. I have 10 deer right outside my bedroom window every morning. If those start dying off one by one, it's the Bigfoot. Not necessarily. What's up, y'all? Relax. I'm here now. But I have heard about them hunting deer and stuff. He has to go to the dentist. The jaw drop. Black bears are everywhere here too. I thought I left Colorado where all the bears were. No, bears are everywhere. We've got forests all over this country. There's bears everywhere. Could just be a collection of folks with big feet, you know. Oh, not that big. Not as big as we talking about. Not being critical at all, Kai. They do invoke discussion. Ah, they do. Oh, what? Not being critical. Docs were. Oh, yeah. I didn't think you were being critical. I was just. I just didn't know what the hell you're talking about. Catherine and I dropped half a like each. Oh, you guys are sharing already. Thanks, another monster. Final Death Star does cool X-Files ish videos. Oh, really? Final. Oh, that's right. Where did the? Wait a second. How come I haven't seen Final Death Star pop up on my notifications for a while? Death Star. Final Death Star. Oh, that's right. Enter the unfamiliar. Okay, I am still subscribed with notifications on. Okay, cool. All right, I just want, because sometimes you get unsubscribed, so I just wanted to double check on that one. Click the link. Let me see. I'm actually gonna send it. It's doubtful that he'll check it or see it in time. To invite you. There it goes. That's the wrong word. Boom. All right, cool. Just send him a link just in case he does see it. It'd be cool to hang out with Final Death Star. That'd be awesome. Google the Poconos and Bigfoot. Oh, the Poconos. Oh, people go missing up in the Poconos. I remember that from The Office, Jim Carrey. He was the guy, the wild, the nature guy that came down through the Poconos. His family was up there, and he left. He's like, I've been gone for a few days now. My family might start getting worried. Google Poconos and Bigfoot. All right, we'll do it. Oh, are you? Wait, Poconos, isn't that? Oh yeah, that's right. Because you live by Scranton. You live by where The Office actually happens. Oh, I got 11 people here. Hey everybody, drop a like if you haven't already. If you love aliens and Bigfoot and all this shit, we're gonna get into it soon. If we have a little fun. It's all fine until Mongo notices them. Then it's all, can I go outside just a little bit, please? We have Huldra in Norway. What is that? Is that Norwegian Bigfoot? It's the same thing. A Bigfoot's a Bigfoot. They're the same species. They just live in different places. Actually, I'll save that for the Bigfoot day. I haven't seen him since forever. I know it's been a while. I looked on his channel right now. There was one stream I hadn't watched, and then nothing after that. So I thought, oh, okay. He's just been gone. It's not that I haven't been getting notifications. He hasn't been going live and posting and stuff. No Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. Oh, Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. Got you. I've got bears in the mid-Atlantic area. Okay. She's back to being happy now that she's had some decent sleep. Good. Awesome. Hey, Catherine. That Blink-182 dude has made a few docs about AATIP. Okay. Yeah. I know who you're talking about. His name isn't coming to me right now, though. Tom DeLonge. It came to me. There it is. He must be afraid of all of us. Who? What are you talking about? Bigfoot? Nah, Bigfoots are generally nice, I think. Kai, sometimes I wake up with that songs in my head. Somebody come get her. She's dancing like a what? Oh, I got you. There it is.
Hey, somebody come get her. She dancing like a stripper. Hey, somebody come get her. She
Kai, I had to tap the bear on its nose with my arrow to make it go back down. It scared the shit out of me. Oh man, yeah, that would be scary. See, good thing you had an arrow. I would have had to punch it. Well, then again, if you're out in the wilderness hunting in a tree and shit, if you're in a tree in the wilderness, you're probably hunting. You're geared up and shit. But just a punch in the nose, pretend it's a shark. Oh, fun fact, sharks have very sensitive noses. So if you see a shark coming at you in the ocean, square up, baby. Square up and throw one of those slow motion punches. Live right near Scranton. I believe we have managed to dismiss the court of public opinion. Nice. Good. Fuck the court of public opinion. They don't fear us. The Bigfoots don't fear us. Hi, Stuntbrat. You're amazing, but no to that video. Tennis ball. We'll get to tennis ball. We just did dancing like a stripper. We'll get to tennis ball in a little bit. Let's fuck around here for a hot minute as everyone gets comfortable. I gotten a chance to say hi to everyone in the chat, but let's look at some of this shit because I've got some cute stuff here and some funny shit. Let's just watch. Hold on. Where is this? Where am I going to start? That's a cat. That's a goat. Okay, this one's cute. Did I not cover this one yesterday? Did I not? Oh, shit. Let me see. All right. I forgot about that. I thought it was super cute. Dog tickling a baby. So let me see some of this stuff. Let me see some of this. Oh yes. Oh, look at this motherfucker. His slippers go flying. Oh my god. That shit was too funny. This was just
look at that.
Cool,
oh, man. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, what?
Okay, I'm going to turn off the audio, but that Venusaur, some of these got me. Some of these were dope. A tank. That's how you have a turtle pet. Of course, we all heard about this, right? An African American owns a huge chunk of Twitter. And all the SJW snowflakes are mad about it. Liberals outraged to learn 10% of Twitter is now owned by an African American. What's this one? Oh yeah. Okay, check this shit out. Wait, so it was in a wrestling match. Little kid comes over to defend his sister. Dude, that's fucking awesome. I mean, they should have made it clear to him what the situation was. But I love that he runs over there to defend his sister. Of course, this dog.
Thank you for helping, Marty.
All right, see you in a bit, Courtney.
So you're bringing your bed in here?
What did I miss here? What did I miss? The lovely Sherry. Hola, mi hermosura. ¿Cómo estás, babe? Angelita de YouTube.
Thank you. Thank you for helping, Marty.
Oh, man.
So you're bringing your bed in here? Okay,
baked cookies, or not baked cookies. Oh, baked cookies is always the correct answer. And Eric K, how you doing, man? Good to see you. There's your hello. Missed it. It was above Sherry's. See, that's what happens when you stand to someone really pretty. Stand next to somebody really pretty. Hold on, let me take this shit down. That's what happens when you stand next to someone really pretty. Is that sometimes you don't get noticed. Let me see. What's this one?
If you're happy and you know it, say meow. If you're happy and you know it, say meow.
Okay, that's all we need to hear from that one.
Happy birthday to. Happy birthday to. Happy birthday.
I got a lot of animal stuff. There's just a lot of cute animal stuff today. Like this shit. What? It's like, no, hold my hand. All right, and this is gonna hop. There's an alien one in here. Oh, this one's just for this is just for everyone. Jenna. Hold on. Her last name isn't coming to me right now. Jenna Jameson. Yeah, there's Jenna Jameson. Looking super cute. I didn't know my W sit is on fire. I didn't know this specific sit, like that pose, had a name. I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. If you're in a profession where different poses and ways of sitting and angling yourself, like, you have consistent ones that look good, you're gonna have names to them. So that was interesting to learn. I did not know that. What's this? Four Small Habits. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this one was fucking funny, dude. Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk. I love that he's the Doge dog. And I'm sure you look amazing, but I mean, a little proof wouldn't hurt. That slab, right? When she gets older, she is older. What do you mean she's gonna be sorry? She looks great, and she's got a kid now. She's got a family. She's got her own career. She works actually with a friend of mine on to help with sex trafficking and stuff. So yeah, Jenna Jameson's doing great stuff out there. She's just not like in the spotlight, is all. I like tennis ball for the first 20 times. Yeah, I'm trying not to play, like, once a stream is okay, especially that when people go, wow, that one made me kind of sad. That's what I try not to like overplay tennis ball, unless we have a day where it just happens like that, and then okay, but yeah. So this here. Oh wait, this is great. Look at this guy. All right. So this is the post that led to the topic that we're going to talk about tonight, or the main topic, I guess, or just the first topic, whatever the fuck. It's what we're talking about. I'm sure it's going to take up a huge chunk of the stream, but UFOs left radiation burns and unaccounted for pregnancies, new Pentagon report claims. 1,500 pages of UFO-related research were just declassified as part of a FOIA request. So yeah, radiation burns, unaccounted for pregnancies, 1,500 pages of documentation. Ooh, pardon me. So I looked it up, and to see what else we could find, I pulled up those articles, and I got those ready to go. But let me catch up here a little bit with you guys. Laundry is a super pain. Yeah, it is. Especially when you got to go somewhere to do it. That's the worst. I got a little bit spoiled when I had it in my apartment once. I was like, oh, this is a thing. After that, I always look for in apartment laundry, so it's not a bitch. I sit like that. Oh yeah, let me see that slab. I do yoga. Not surprising. It's totally boring. Come on now. What's totally boring? But like tennis ball. We'll get the tennis ball, buddy. Oh, cats do land on their feet. Oh, that one didn't have many options. Dumb cats are dumb. That's true. Dumb cats are dumb. I actually did. I threw my buddy's cat when I was little. I tossed him to see if he would land on his feet. I didn't realize what a dick I was being, but he was like, he was a little bit upset with me. But I was like, dude, but your cat totally landed on his feet. That was amazing. I was in elementary school, middle school. Middle school, you start being kind of a dick, you don't even mean to. But I think it was around then. Here's a little before we get into the alien stuff. Pride is concerned with who is right. Humility is concerned with what is right. Damn right. Damn, 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 damn. All right. So, do you guys want to start talking about aliens now? Are you guys down for some alien chat? This is great. So the dog does not let her sing. I think it knows what's going to happen. It's just trying to sing along. But it's fucking cute. Let me pull up these articles, though. It's time to talk about the aliens. Aliens. Whoo. Ooh wee. Let's start with this one and move our way up. Here we go. All right. For articles are ready to go. Articles. Did you guys? All right. How y'all feeling tonight? What are you in the mood for right now? Did you want to start with aliens or end with aliens? We could start with the Mexican underworld or psychedelics and consciousness. I think that psychedelics and consciousness might be a good end cap. I'm not sure. Archaeologists explore the underworld of Mitla, the place of the dead. That's the Mexican underworld story I've got. And then the other two articles are related to the 1,500 page FOIA request, including the original article from that post here. So let me see what you guys got. What cats do? Smart cats. Let me see. Let's just say this Kai. I'm going to hell for a reason. I want to start with tennis balls. Okay, if y'all are good with tennis balls, I could start with a little tennis ball, and then we'll get on to aliens. It's or aliens or the Mexican underworld. Those are the options. Aliens or the Mexican land of the dead. Let's see. Let's go with let's do a little tennis ball.
Tennis ball, throw it against the wall. Tennis ball, throw it against the wall. Tennis ball, throw it against the wall. Bounce, 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 bounce. Tennis ball, throw it against the wall. Tennis ball, throw it against the wall. Tennis ball, throw it against the wall. Bounce, 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 bounce. Tennis ball, throw it against the wall. Tennis ball, throw it against the wall. Tennis ball, throw it against the wall. Helps me forget about my cancer.
But you know what? We don't take too kindly to cancer around here.
Where is that pussy cancer anyway? Well, we couldn't find cancer, but we found a man with cancer. Take that, cancer! And that...
See? I can pair them up now. They're both cancer related. Didn't the Aztecs have a dominant underworld god story? I'm not Mexican, so I'm not particularly familiar with Aztec folklore. I know a little bit more about Mayan folklore because that's the part of the world that my family's from. Dwayne, I'm sorry to hear you're very tired. You rest up, man. Take care of yourself. Thanks for hanging out, and say hi to Rita for us. Pardon me. Two brothers or something. Dude, that does sound familiar. I know what you're talking about, but I'm not super familiar with Aztec mythology and the creation story and all that stuff. So, Kai, kill me now. Tennis ball is putting me into a coma. The 21st time. Well, at least we've got Russell Crowe over here.
Where is that pussy cancer?
Yeah. He's not having any of it. He's tired of seeing poor little cancer boy playing with his tennis ball, and he's taking the fight to cancer. So, wait, did anyone say anything about aliens and Mexican underworld? Well, I guess you're talking about Mexican underworld. Let's start with Mexican underworld, and then move on to aliens. I'm gonna put a little banner. I need to delete some of these banners. I just keep making new banners. Then aliens. Boom. Done. All right. There we go. Mexican underworld city, then aliens. All righty. Well, shit. Let's rock and roll.
Hey, somebody come get her. She dancing like a stripper. Hey, somebody come get her. She.
So, UFOs left radiation burns and unaccounted for pregnancies. New Pentagon report claims by Brandon Spector. Really, motherfucker? Really? Brandon Spector. You got a motherfucker named Spector to write a fucking article about aliens. Brandon Spector. Are you? Isn't that a little on the nose? Isn't it a little on the nose that? Brandon Spector. What the fuck? Oh my god. Ridiculous. But coma cats rule. Hey, Philip Blair. Did somebody say UFO hells? Yeah. Yeah, we're talking about that shit right now. It's go time. What Mexican underground city? Underworld city. Not underground. Underworld. Different. Fake name. So yeah, hold on. Let's start. I said we're starting with the Mexican thing, but this, I am stoked to get into that one. So where's this? There it is. Here's the Mexican thing. Let me put these in order. Boop. So this and then aliens. Got two articles for the alien stuff. So archaeologists explore the underworld of Mitla, the place of the dead. April 1st, 2022. That's some suspect timing to drop a truthful article. No, I mean, this is Heritage Daily. All right, they wouldn't, yeah. All right, a team of archaeologists from the project Lioba is conducting a new study to explore the underworld of the archaeological zone of Mitla. Mitla is an archaeological site associated with the Zapotec culture, located in the Oaxaca Valley in the present-day state of Oaxaca in southern Mexico. Mitla was first inhabited by the Zapotec during the classical period, AD 100 to 650, having first developed from a fortified village into a large religious center. The Zapotec believed that Mitla served as the gateway between the world of the living and the world of the dead for the burial of Zapotec elite, with the Nahuatl name Mictlan, meaning the place of the dead or underworld. Very cool. Look at that. The site consists of 5 main groups of structures built on the valley floor. Grupo de las Columnas, columns group. Grupo de las Iglesias, churches group. Grupo de Arroyo group. Is there no translation for never mind. Grupo de los Adobes, Adobe group, and Grupo del Sur, Southern group. As part of the new study, by Project Lioba in support by the National Institute of Anthropology and History. Researchers are using geophysical prospection techniques to confirm the existence of previously undetected underground chambers and passageways beneath Mitla. Oh shit. Philip Blair called it underground stuff. Man. All right, you were in this one. You were in this one, Philip Blair. I don't know if UFOs are aliens, but that's definitely what I used to think. I think there are some aliens in UFOs, and I think there are also future humans and modern humans. Thought most of us geeks in here had a higher IQ than to be entertained by a tennis ball for more than 20 times. Guess I was wrong. Yo, but that beat is so hard. I love it. Tennis ball up against the wall. Like it's so fire until it's depressing. I love tennis ball though. It's part of a new study by Project Lioba in support by the I already read that part. The team will be applying ground penetrating radar. The team will be applying ground penetrating radar, subsurface electrical resistivity tomography, and seismic noise refraction tomography for identifying cavities and underground spaces, such as tunnels or tombs, as well as to support the conservation of the area through mapping and the prevention of seismic risk. Archaeologist Denise Argote Espino said, they are complementary technologies. GPR sends waves underground. Electrical tomography studies changes in the electrical properties of bodies below the surface, and seismic noise reduction tomography analyzes how and with what speed sound travels. Is that the end of the article? That was very short. But there's a network of underground passages and whatnot here in this city of the underworld, which they believe to be the connection between our world and the underworld. I don't know why they come to those conclusions. They build a bunch of underground stuff. They're like, we did it. We made a connection. Formed a connection. Does not make a sense to me. Hey. Let me see. Interdimensionals, maybe. Yeah, possibly. No, son. I'm sorry. I'm pretty freaking retarded. It's funny, but it's not. Well, see, but that's why I brought Russell Crowe in here to to put in a little work.
Where is that pussy cancer anyway? Well, we couldn't find cancer, but we found a man with cancer. Take that, cancer! And that!
Kai, that beat is the same as in the butt. No, it's not. No, it's not even close to the same.
I said what in the butt. I said what in the butt. I said what in the butt. I said what in the butt.
See, and then that's nah. You're talking crazy. Didn't they recently find some new archaeology under the pyramid or under the pyramid of the sun down in Mexico? I think so. Did I talk about that already, or I don't know. Let me see. Let's look. Pyramid of the Sun, Mexico, underground. A secret tunnel. Let's see. A secret tunnel found in Mexico City may finally solve the mysteries of Teotihuacán. It lagged on me for a second. Teotihuacán. Oh, sorry. Teotihuacán. Fuck off. All right, Teotihuacán. The chance discovery beneath a nearly 2,000-year-old pyramid leads to the heart of a lost civilization. So that's pretty nuts, man. That is pretty nuts. I've walked up the steps of these kinds of pyramids, and they're fucking tall, man. You don't even realize, like, you're like, that's not that big, and then you're standing over the forest, like, yeah, we're pretty high up. The temple of the plumbed. The temple of the plumed serpent is adorned with carved snake heads and wrong place to click and slithering bodies. In the fall of 2003, a heavy rainstorm shook through the ruins of Teotihuacán, the pyramid-studded pre-Aztec metropolis 30 miles northeast of present-day Mexico City. Dig sites sloshed over with water, a torrent of mud and debris coursed past rows of souvenir stands at the main entrance. The grounds of the city's central courtyard buckled and broke. One morning, Sergio Gomez, an archaeologist with Mexico's National Institute of Anthropology and History, arrived at work to find a nearly 3-foot wide sinkhole had opened at the foot of a large pyramid known as the Temple of the Plumed Serpent in Teotihuacan's southeast quadrant. My first thought was, what exactly am I looking at? Gomez told me recently. Second was, how exactly are we going to fix this? Gomez is wiry and small, with pronounced cheekbones, nicotine-stained fingers, and a helmet of dense black hair that adds a couple of inches to his height. Okay, bro. He has spent the past 3 decades, almost all of his professional career, working in and around Teotihuacán, which once, long ago, served as the cosmopolitan center of the Mesoamerican world. He is fond of saying that there are few living humans who know this place as intimately as he does. And as far as he was concerned, there wasn't anything beneath the temple of the plumed serpent beyond dirt, fossils, and rock. Gomez fetched a flashlight from his truck and aimed it into the sinkhole. Nothing, only darkness. So he tied a line to a heavy rope. He tied a line of heavy rope around his waist, and with several colleagues holding on to the other end, he descended into the murk. Gomez came to rest in the middle of what appeared to be a man-made tunnel. I could make out some of the ceiling, he told me, but the tunnel itself was blocked in both directions by these immense stones. Ooh, the tunnel was blocked in both directions by immense stones. Oh, shit. Okay, that's interesting. Because you would figure, why would both, if it's a tunnel, that means okay. In designing Teotihuacán, the city's, oh, dude, bro, how many times have you said this and you're just now giving us the pronunciation? You're lucky I speak Spanish. The city's architects had arranged the major monuments of a north-south axis with the so-called Avenue of the Dead, linking the largest structure, the Temple of the Sun, with the Ciudadela, the southeasternly courtyard that housed the Temple of the Plumed Serpent. Gomez knew that archaeologists had previously discovered a narrow tunnel underneath the Temple of the Sun. He theorized that he was now looking at a kind of mirrored tunnel leading to a subterranean chamber beneath the Temple of the Plumed Serpent. If he was correct, it would be a find of stunning proportions, the type of achievement that can make a career. The problem was, he told me, you can't just dive in and start tearing up Earth. You have to have a clear hypothesis, and you have to get approval. Well, thankfully, Mother Earth decided you have approval and flooded the bitch for you to open up new possibilities. Gomez set about making his plans. He erected a tent over the sinkhole to keep it away from prying eyes of the hundreds of thousands of tourists who visit Teotihuacán each year, and with the help of the National Institute of Anthropology and History, arranged for the delivery of a lawnmower-sized, high-resolution, ground-penetrating radar device. Oh, what? Because they're Mexican archaeologists? The device gets compared to a lawnmower? Racism. Beginning in the early months of 2004, he and a handpicked team of some 20 archaeologists and workers scanned the earth under Ciudadela. returning every afternoon to upload the results to Gomez's computer. By 2005, the digital map was complete. 2005, so this isn't exactly recent. As Gomez has suspected, the tunnel ran approximately 330 feet from the Ciudadela to the center of the Temple of the Plumed Serpent. The hole that had appeared during the 2003 storms was not the actual entrance that lay a few yards back. Clearly, and it had apparently been intentionally sealed with large boulders nearly 2,000 years ago. Oh, intentionally sealed. Huh. I wonder why it was intentionally sealed 2,000 years ago, and then they covered it over. Damn, okay. Whatever was inside that tunnel, Gomez thought to himself, was meant to stay hidden forever. Yeah, I wonder what's down there. And there might be some secrets down there. All right. 1 of 4. Oh, let's see some of this. What happened to your hand, bro? So this is Temple of the Sun, Temple of the Moon. This is Temple of the Plumed Serpent. So is the tunnel going like this then? That's where it's at. Oh, okay, there it is. Tunnel entrance. Interesting. I wonder. Nearly 100,000 tons of earth has been removed from the tunnel, which Gomez hopes to finish. Because in Spain they pronounce it Gomez. Excavating this summer. Oh, cool! This summer. All right. Teotihuacán has long stood as the greatest of Mesoamerican mysteries, the site of the colossal and influential culture, which frustrating little is understood, from the conditions of its rise to the circumstances of its collapse to its actual name. Teotihuacán translates as the place where men become gods in Nahuatl, the language of the Aztecs, who likely found the ruins of the deserted city sometime in the 1300s, centuries after its abandonment, and concluded that a powerful Ur culture, an ancestor of theirs, must have once resided in its vast temples. The city lies in a basin at the southernmost edge of the Mexican plateau, an undulating landmass that forms the spine of modern-day Mexico. Inside the basin, the climate is mild, and land riven by streams and rivers, ideal conditions for farming and raising livestock. Teotihuacán itself was likely settled as early as 400 BC, but it was only around AD 100, an era of robust population growth and increased urbanization in Mesoamerica, that the metropolis as we know it, with its wide boulevards and monumental pyramids, was built. Some historians have theorized that its founders were refugees driven north by the eruption of a volcano. Others have speculated that they were Totonacs, a tribe from the east. Whatever the case, Teotihuacanos, as they are now known, proved themselves to be skilled urban planners. They built stone-sided canals to reroute the San Juan River directly under the Avenue of the Dead, and set about constructing the pyramids that would form the city's core, the Temple of the Plumed Serpent, and the even larger 147-foot-tall Temple of the Moon, and the bulky sky-obstructing 213-foot-tall Temple of the Sun. Clemency Coggins, a professor emerita of archaeology, professor emerita, I don't know, and art history at Boston University, has suggested that the city was designed as a physical manifestation of its founder's creation myth. Not only was Teotihuacán laid out in a measured rectangular grid, but the pattern was oriented to the movement of the sun, which was born there. She is far from the only historian to see the city as large-scale metaphor. Michael Coe, an archaeologist at Yale, argued in the 1980s that individual structures might be representations of the emergence of humankind out of vast and tumultuous sea. As is in Genesis, Mesoamericans of the time are thought to have envisioned the world as being born from complete darkness. In this case, aqueous. Consider the Temple of the Plumed Serpent, Coe suggested, the same temple that hid Sergio Gomez's tunnel. The structure's facade was splashed with what Coggins called marine motifs, shells, and what appeared to be waves. Coe wrote that the temple represents the initial creation of the universe from a watery void. Or what if it's the flood story? What if it's their flood story? What if the people who survived the flood 11,500 years ago when we got hit by asteroids, what if they are telling that story? And that's why it's like they came from water and darkness because fucking comet hit and wiped out civilizations from back then. Let's look at some of these. Shit is big. Oh, but the top of it's fucked up. Oh man, I didn't realize it got like crushed like that. That sucks. Man. What the hell? What did they hit it with to do that? Because the other ones don't look all fucked up like that. That had to get hit by. This is all big. This is stone. How did that happen? All right, so hot air balloon float above Teotihuacán. Oh yeah. Recent evidence suggests. How far does this go? Okay, I'm not. Nope. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I want to talk about aliens. Several says it was here Gomez hoped he'd make his biggest find yet. We're still going. Oh my God. Smoking a cigarette. Bottom lip. Studied 75,000 artifacts that was already found, each of which needed to be carefully cataloged. Damn. We're only at 10% through the process. Holy shit. That's a lot. Ooh. Corn commodity. 1,800-year-old corn. Jesus. Passing through a lab where wood recovered from the tunnel was being carefully treated in chemical baths. We stepped in a stateroom. Oh, wow. This is a long article. But it is what you're talking about, Philip Blair. It's exactly what you were saying about a tunnel underneath. I have to catch up to the chat now. Let's see. What? Fifth grade boy humor. Are you guys like over the tennis ball clip? That technology is used a great deal in the UK to map out Anglo-Saxon settlements that predate the Romans. Yep, it should be more commonplace in places where we know motherfuckers used to live. Secret tunnel. It is great that the study of pre-Columbian societies is getting some love. I know, dude, for real. Like, there really has not been... Most of the archaeology, it feels like it's concentrated in Europe and Africa and stuff, but we need love to... Actually, I think it's in part because of Mexico and kind of the way Mexico is, the situation there, both economically and politically, makes it difficult for archaeologists in that region. That was a joke, by the way. Oh, I missed what it was. The sensor does look like... I'm sorry. I need to catch up on that chat, so I don't remember what this was referring to. The sensor does look like a little big wheel. The lawnmower thing. yeah. I was joking. Sensor does look like a big wheel lawnmower. Yes, because it was built before the Proto-Aztecs arrived. Mm-hmm. Yep, weird time to bake cookies, but they're on. Nice. It's not a weird time. If you feel like baking cookies, clearly, your body wants cookies. Hail story, man. Jack, good to see you. How you doing, brother? You weren't here yesterday, were you? Yesterday, I talked about the whole Shamrock Publishing debacle, if you're familiar with that. I spent like the first after about a half hour, we started talking about it, I think. But welcome, man. Welcome. Hey, again, I want cookies. I'm about 8 minutes away from pulling the first 2 sheets. Nice. Glaze seems like overkill. Yeah, you don't need glaze. Cookies are perfect as is. Good morning, Tina. Buenos dias, señorita. We need more archaeology done right here in the United States. Yes, we do need a lot more of that here in the United States. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I'm going to Belize this fall. Oh, no shit. Have fun out there, man. Have fun. I hear it's beautiful. It used to be, Belize used to be part of Guatemala. It's not my body that wants cookies. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, when the woman's body wants cookies, it's still, you need cookies. Speaking of which, see, I got mine right here. I got cookies. Why doesn't Catherine get cookies? The lady wants cookies. The lady should get cookies. Well, let me make a little adjustment here. Whatever, it's fine. Imperius, Hey, good to see you, Imperious. All right, y'all. All right, I'm ready to talk about aliens. Let's get into some alien chat. Let's do it. If you haven't already, drop a like, share the stream, let people know where they can come for that alien talk. But I will link the Secret Tunnel article alongside the others at the end of the show. I will be doing that. So let's hop into this. There it goes. That's better. All right. Okay. From the Sun. X-Files Pentagon releases 1,500 pages of secret documents about shadowy UFO program after a 4-year battle. So they didn't just put in a FOIA request. They put in a FOIA request and then had to fight for it to be upheld. 4 years in court. 4-year battle. Maybe not in court, but a 4-year struggle to get them released. That's nuts, man. That's nutty. By the way, how do you guys like this view? Do you prefer this? Whoops, or this? What do you guys think? Cheap store-bought shortcut nonsense. Yeah. Oh well. My best friend bought an orange grove last year. Built a house and said, F the beer bug. It is really nice. Cannot wait. Ooh, that's fucking awesome. That's fucking awesome, man. Yeah, my uncle, yeah, no, never mind. I shouldn't say that. That's dope, man. Good for him. Good for your friend. I have a friend in I think Costa Rica right now that more or less did the same thing, but it didn't really have much to do with that. It was a lot of things put together. Graham Hancock is persuading some people that North America is worth doing serious archaeology. Eurasia and Africa aren't the only places with human history. Yes, right? Thank you, Graham Hancock. Like, yeah, I absolutely agree. There's a lot of archaeological stuff here that got buried, covered up, removed, or like people just don't talk about it. But yeah, there's a lot of archaeology here that goes undone in the United States. It's fucking lame. After all the cookie talk, my oatmeal is not too exciting. Oh, I'm sorry. You can put some little bits of strawberry in there, some honey. I always put honey in my oatmeal. I may never eat another pre-made cookie again, ever. Oh, there's some good cookies you're eating then. See, that's the thing. If you have access to quality, go for it. I don't. And I don't generally, not all pre-made cookies really do it for me. For some reason, I really like the Chips Ahoy ones, though. And it's I don't know why. It's the chunky, I don't know what the fuck it is, but I like them. They're not homemade, though. Homemade's a whole other level. X-Files make it sound like aliens. The truth is out there. It doesn't take much to turn oatmeal into oatmeal cookies, you know. Ew, oatmeal cookies? Oatmeal cookies, though. They're the worst kind of cookie. Sure, one man show. Used to live in a tree with elves. All right. Pentagon. So, like I've said before, I don't trust this little number counter up here. But it's weird that I start talking about aliens and people start leaving when that's the main topic. That's what we're talking about tonight. Aliens. But, yeah, I don't know. All right. I guess let's get back to it. Hey, Tim. How you doing, man? I eat cookie dough, too. True. I don't usually eat cookie dough, though. The Pentagon has released 1,574 pages of real-life X-Files related to its secretive UFO program after a 4-year battle. The Sun Online first requested a copy of all files, reports, or video files related to the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program, AATIP. Is that the thing you mentioned earlier? On December 18th, 2017. Letter from the Defense Intelligence Agency confirming it is releasing 1,574 pages of files. Video taken by Navy pilots showing interactions with unidentified aerial phenomena. This looks familiar. This looks like that video that got those videos. One of the videos that got released a couple years ago. A video of the infamous Tic Tac encounter near the USS Nimitz in 2004. We filed a Freedom of Information Act just days after the existence of the shadowy program had been made public. Finally, after more than 4 years, the Defense Intelligence Agency released more than 1,500 documents. It included government-commissioned scientific reports and letters to the Pentagon regarding the UFO program. The haul includes reports into research on the biological effects of UFO sightings on humans, sets out categorizations for paranormal experiences, and studies into sci-fi style tech. The DIA, the Department of Defense's spy arm, said some portions of the document must be withheld in part due to privacy and confidentiality concerns. But the agency added the DIA has not withheld any reasonably segregable, non-exempt portions of the records. DIA has not withheld any reasonably segregable, non-exempt portions of the records. The bombshell Freedom of Information haul includes reports of the DIA's research into the biological effects of UFO sightings on humans. And this includes burns, heart problems, sleep disturbances, and even bizarre occurrences such as apparent abduction and unaccounted for pregnancy. Let me I love oatmeal cookies with golden raisins. Oh no. Lucky number 1,574. Love oatmeal cookies. Yeah, I'm not. No. I'll take chocolate any day of the week. Not oatmeal. So, the report noted that often these injuries are related to electromagnetic radiation. Bring my arms down so I can relax. I was like, why does it feel weird? My arms feel weird. It's because I can't lay them on anything because my arms were up. So the report noted that often these injuries are related to the electromagnetic radiation and links them to energy-related propulsion systems. And the report, prepared for the DIA, warns that such objects may be a threat to United States interests. Humans have been found to have been injured from exposures to anomalous vehicles, especially airborne and when in close proximity. The report said it had 42 cases from medical files and 300 similar unpublished cases where humans had been injured after anomalous encounters. AATIP was a secretive Pentagon program that ran between 2007 and 2012 to study UFOs. That's not even that long and very recent. Very recent. I like frozen oatmeal raisin cookies in the summer when it gets hot outside. Oh, well, that makes sense. When it's hot. Ooh-wee. It was outed by former intelligence official turned whistleblower Luis Elizondo, who headed up the program back in 2017. What? Hold on. Secret program that ran between 2007 and 2012. He headed the program back in 2017. Oh. He in 2017 is when he came out with it. Gotcha. Bombshell videos of unexplained UFO sightings by U.S. military personnel investigated by AATIP were also first published at the time. The revelations on the program marked a step change in the way the U.S. talks about UFOs, now more commonly known as unidentified aerial phenomena. This is why a microwave oven magnetron can be dangerous. Yeah. Well, that's how we discovered that microwaves can cook shit, right? somebody went up on a big dish that was shooting out microwaves and got cooked. So, hold on. I'm gonna drop this real quick. Get some water.
The boost around the area,
They have a full weekend, then the 4th of July. Here's an actual customer. What's the best kind of firework? Would you like to know, weather boy?
And the phenomena has stepped from the fringe into a serious national security concern, discussed by lawmakers, defense officials, and even former President Barack Obama and Bill Clinton. One fascinating document included in the Acquisition Threat Support Report sets out how to categorize anomalous behavior with encounters with ghosts, yetis, spirits, elves, and other mythical/legendary entities classed as AN3. What did this motherfucker just say? Hold on. Let me run by that. I'm gonna run that one by you again. One fascinating document included in the Acquisition Threat Support Report sets out how to categorize anomalous behavior with encounters with ghosts, yetis, spirits, elves, and other mythical/legendary entities, classes A and 3. So they have a classification for all these motherfuckers. They have a classification for them. And officially, in the government, they have a classification for yetis, spirits, elves, ghosts, and other mythical/legendary entities. That's fucking wild. That's wild. Because, like, the thing is, even with people, like, not everyone, you'll find more people that believe in Bigfoot. When you start talking about this stuff, you'll find, like, people go, oh, yeah, aliens, for sure. Or about Bigfoot. Bigfoot's a maybe. Bigfoot's a maybe. There's that video with the Bigfoot. I've heard some Bigfoot stories. Okay. What about, like, elves and sprites? Now we're getting into some Lord of the Rings talk. Okay, that's where you start to lose people. Elementals and stuff. I don't know. That sounds like D&D. What? Mythical, literal, mythical legendary creatures. Well, they're mythical creatures. I don't believe in mythical creatures. Okay. So it's kind of like there's a hierarchy of mainstreamness of how much people are willing to accept. The government, on the other hand, goes, oh, yeah, that's an AN3. Did you have another question? They have, and not only that, how it sets out how to categorize anomalous behavior with encounters with them. So they even have a rubric for how you're supposed to categorize your interactions with these creatures. They have it outlined, like, okay, now if you run into a yeti, this is and this happens, it's called this, and if that happens, it's called that. Be sure you fill out all your paperwork. Wait, did you just say if it's a yeti? Yes. If it's an elf, totally different stuff. Okay, what about like sprites and ghosts? Yeah, this different paperwork, same classification, but here, just read the fucking manual, man. What? So literally everyone that was a tinfoil hat, like, fringe person that was talking about this stuff is now ahead of the game. All those people now know more than everyone who called them crazy. Officially, government sanctioned. The government says, nope, they're not crazy. This shit's real. And we've got names for it all. That's awesome. I love it. I fucking love it, man. Let me see. This is why. Oh, wait. A microwave. OC1 must be oatmeal cookies. Number one. Psyop. Psyop. What, this? You think this is a psyop? Like the releasing of the information, or the implanting of like, you think alongside aliens and stuff they went also yetis and shit, just to throw people off so that they would question things. All that's going to do is make people think that it's legit, because they go, well, this is official documentation acknowledging aliens and with video and shit. That means that they also have a bunch of yeti, Bigfoot, elf, sprite, ghost, etc. information unreleased as well. So it's a, I don't think it, I mean, how, what would be the goal of the psyop? To, if they're trying to hide the existence of these kinds of things, or if it's not real, why would they be making people, like, essentially giving people credence that they are real? Because then all they're doing is empowering the voices of people who they used to call crazy. All these people who believe in this stuff, the government and the media, the mainstream, all that, used to say, you're crazy. You believe in fantasy shit. That's how they used to treat them. Now all of a sudden they're like certified fresh. That doesn't add up. So what would be the purpose, Dr. Forbin Colossus? Because I hear you, but I also, the hypothesis needs a substantial bedrock on which to lay its foundation. Mind-controlled robots. We've talked about that. We've talked about robots, and oh man, I already ate the cookie I got. All right. Seeing a UFO. I fucked up a one sentence paragraph. All right. Pardon me. Let's try this again. Dr. Forbin Colossus, I'd love to hear your hypothesis on that. What you're saying there. But I'm going to keep reading for now. Seeing a UFO with aliens on board would be CE3. Okay. CE3. Why? What does that stand for? Entity? Cosmic entity. Cosmic entity 3. That means there's cosmic entity 1 and 2. So seeing a UFO with aliens on board. So there's seeing a UFO without aliens on board, and then seeing an alien, or seeing a UFO that you can't tell if there are aliens on board. So clearly there have been encounters where they just see the ship, where they see a ship with no aliens on. They can see inside, but they don't see anyone in there, and situations where they see a ship with aliens inside. Because there's, like, the numbers are a clear indicator. You don't just arbitrarily put numbers at the end of codes. That's silly. Let me see. Close encounter. Oh, you're right. Close encounter makes more sense. Close encounter. I was thinking cosmic entity, because the thing is, I'm thinking, if they have all these different things, then maybe they have to, name them appropriately for what exactly you're encountering. Hey, Angelus, we're talking about magical shit. I don't know if we're getting into vampires, but we're getting into yetis and aliens and stuff. Look at this. Read this sentence for yourself. Unless your eyes suck, then I'll read it for you. Let me know. Duh. Okay, but you know what? Cosmic entity isn't a bad guess. Close encounters of the third kind. It's a nice little thing. Anyway, that would make sense if that's why it was number 3. Oh wait, that's right. Close encounters of the third kind was named after that already. The third kind, because that's right. I forgot about that from the movie. Okay. I want to see the ship that is the alien. Oh yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Hey, Angelus, have you dropped a like yet? Pardon me. Yo, just another quick reminder, if anyone out there is if you're like into the alien talk and you know other people want to get into this stuff too, go ahead and share it out and let them know where to go. But I'm going to continue on here. So seeing it, so CE3, that's where we left off. Poltergeists, crop circles, spontaneous human combustion. Okay. All right. Alien abductions and other paranormal events are also categorized. Wow. Spontaneous human combustion. Okay. Studies into advanced technologies such as invisibility cloaks and mind-controlled robots. Oh, that's what you were talking about, mind-controlled robots. Oh, that's why you mentioned that. Are also included in the document cache. Ah, dude, this fucking article is full of typos. This article is full of typos. The sun, oh, the U.S. sun is fucking trash, bro. It's trash. They can't type for shit. Studies into advanced technologies such as invisibility cloaks and mind-controlled robots are also included in the document's cache. That's crazy. And awesome. Other documents obtained include studies into communicating with alien civilizations and plans for deep space exploration and colonization. Other documents include studies into communication with alien civilizations and plans for deep space exploration and colonization. Luis Elizondo headed up the AATIP for the Pentagon. That's not the guy that died. He's still alive. There's a guy that used to do construction on like underground bases that died of, well, he had like a very rare cancer caused by getting hit by a beam weapon, but then he died mysteriously of natural causes. Clearly. Anyway, thanks, man. Wow, amazing deduction. Mind-blowing, truly. I'm not making crazy deductions here, okay? I'm just getting it. I'm like, some of this is, let's say, no surprise for those of us who believed in a lot of this shit, but I'm excited that it's out there. And yeah, what's it called? Also, some people, you never know who's watching. Some people need shit spelled out for them. Some people don't understand implications. Some people take things at surface level and then stop thinking. So I'm not trying to be a rocket scientist here. I'm trying to entertain and talk about and also inform you all about shit that's popping off. Letter from Senator Harry Reid stating that the findings of the program demand extraordinary protection. Senator Harry Reid, huh? Pentagon, Washington, D.C., 2009. Harry Reid, there it is. Harry Reid, this motherfucker. So he knows some shit, huh? All right. Methodology used to identify, acquire, study, and engineer the advanced technologies associated with AATIP. Specific methodologies used to study unconventional technology may require nuanced approaches that will undoubtedly be a significant interest, if not top priority, for adversarial foreign intelligence security services. Letter from the slew of newly released documents contains letters from Senator Harry Reid, who asks for the project to be classed as top secret, and documents about contractors. It shows how a contract was awarded to Bigelow Aerospace Advanced Space Studies, BLAS, for $12 million. Notably, the only contractor to bid for the work to study advanced aerospace weapon threats from the present out to 40 years in the future. Ooh. The only one to bid? Everyone else is sitting on their ass. Oh, you know what? It's probably some insider info. That's what did it. They knew something other people didn't, and they bid for it because they knew it was happening. How about close encounters of the seventh kind? I would like to know what the other kinds of close encounters are. We could look those up. AN equals anomalous. Oh, okay. Anomalous, AN3. Okay. So, in one 2009 letter, Senator Reid describes how the program has already identified several highly sensitive, unconventional aerospace technologies which required extraordinary protection. His request for restricted special access program for the BLAS work was rejected by DIA officials. was rejected. Oh shit! Last year, the Pentagon released its long-awaited report into what it knows about a series of mysterious flying objects that have been observed in military airspaces over the last 2 decades. The report, released on the website of the Office of the Director for National Intelligence, examined 144 reports of encounters with what the government deemed unidentified aerial phenomena. It comes as the Pentagon is opening a new office to investigate UFOs, their origins, and attempts to capture or exploit one of the mysterious craft after an amendment to a defense bill tabled in the U.S. Senate. The dedicated unit is called the Anomaly Surveillance and Resolution Office, ARSO. It will probe whether or not the strange craft that have been reportedly buzzing the U.S. military are unknown technology from Russia and China, or potentially something more alien. The Pentagon UFO program ran from 2007 to 2012. Files were released by a defense agency, spying on the Department of Defense. Oh, is that it? Okay, that's the end of this one. That's the end of this one, but I've got another article here that dives into this a little bit more. But yeah, man, that's some cool shit. I have heard stories about skinwalkers, not exactly vampires, but yeah, I have heard Skinwalker Ranch or Skywalker Ranch. No, Skywalker Ranch is it. Skinwalker Ranch is the one where all the crazy shit happens, right? Lots of alien sightings, skinwalkers. I think Chupacabra or some shit. There's all kinds of stuff. Senator Harry Reid, rest in peace. Wait, Harry Reid. 2000 December 28th, 2021. Oh shit, he just died? Ah, man, rest in peace, Senator Harry Reid. I recognize him. I didn't realize he died. Just one of my 1001 useless talents. Hopefully, no talent is useless. You just a useless talent is a talent that you just don't know where it's supposed to be used. Hopefully, the whole document FOIA winds up on Black Vault or something. What's Black Vault? And wait, so the Sun receives all the documents, but they don't necessarily release all the documents. They get to choose how it's released. Lame. I do hope it all ends up somewhere. Yeah, that'd be nice. CE5, death or loony bin. Is that really? CE4, did you Google them? Did you look them up? CE4 is abductions. CE1, I saw one within 150 feet. Oh, wow. CE2, physical evidence left behind, burnt trees, bent grass, etc. Okay, well, thank you, One Man Show, for looking that up for me. That saves me some time. Yep, Skinwalker Ranch. Dogs playing billiards. Dogs playing billiards would be a CE1. And I've heard about that. So essentially, when I've heard about people seeing walking animals and stuff, it's like an extra dimensional being taking the form of like a dog or an animal, just doing its thing, not really thinking about who's if there's anyone watching. It's just like when they realize someone's watching, like, oh, bro, we're on two legs. Let's get the fuck out of here. And then they peace out. But dogs playing billiards. That would be fascinating. I mean, shit. Imagine if you walked into a room full of dogs playing billiards. Some of this shit, though, damn. Some of this shit was nuts. Really cool. I'm excited. So you looked up all the CEs. So is Body Snatched a CE7? Oh, so is Body Snatched CE7? Apparently, well, Body Snatched would be abductions. Abductions are CE4. So that's what it would be. Wait, do you mean like replacement? Or like brain suckers, like controlling a body? Like, is that what you mean? I don't know if that's a thing. Let's look at the next one. UFOs left radiation burns and unaccounted for pregnancies. New Pentagon report claims. Let's look at this shit. I kind of want another cookie before I move on. This has got me all worked up. Ooh, got me all excited. Let's see, what can I play? Can I play here? I need something a little bit longer than the norm. Here we go. Let's go with this one. That kid. Let me see. Oh. I wonder what that was. Nope. Let me double check this real quick. All right. So, actually, why didn't I do that before? Silly me. There it goes. All right. So yeah, let's get into this. Yeah, like being possessed. Yeah, okay. Body snatch. That's what you mean. All right. The full name is the Black Vault. The site has many FOIA docs, not only UFO items. Oh, cool. Okay, badass. I need something a little bit longer than the norm. That's what she said. Baking complete. Batch 2 out and cooling. Nice. One man show. You know how to show a lady a good time. Oh, they already have a number of these on their site. They are fast. Nice. As far as I know, CE5 is the highest numbered designator. So, one man show, you're saying you know this stuff from experience, or did you look it up? Because I thought you looked it up until you said that right there. So, are you familiar with this kind of thing already? Let me see. Let's get into it. UFOs left radiation burns and unaccounted for pregnancies, new Pentagon report claims. So, encounters with UFOs have reportedly left Americans suffering from radiation burns, brain and nervous system damage, and even unaccounted for pregnancy, according to a massive database of U.S. government reports recently made public through a Freedom of Information Act request. The database of documents includes more than 1,500 pages of UFO-related material from the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, a secretive U.S. Department of Defense program that ran from 2007 to 2012, despite never being classified as secret or top secret. It was never even classified as secret or top secret. The AATIP only became known to the public in 2017 when former program director Luis Elizondo resigned from the Pentagon and released several now infamous videos of an unidentified aircraft moving in seemingly impossible ways to the media. So that's how that got out. Okay. Shortly after the AATIP's existence was revealed, the U.S. outpost of the British tabloid The Sun filed a FOIA request for any and all documents related to the program. 4 years later, on April 5th, 2022, the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency honored the request by releasing more than 1,574 pages of material to the Sun. So this is a couple days ago now, because England is slightly ahead of us. According to the Sun, the cache of documents includes... So this is brand new. So we're going to see more of this, more information coming out about this. According to the Sun, the cache of documents includes reports on the biological effects of UFO sightings on humans, studies on advanced technologies such as invisibility cloaks, and plans for deep space exploration and colonization. Some portions of the documents were withheld in part for privacy and confidentiality concerns. One standout document from the collection is a report titled Anomalous Acute and Subacute Field Effects on Human and Biological Tissues, dated March 2010. The report describes alleged injuries to human observers by anomalous advanced aerospace systems, some of which may be a threat to the United States interests, according to the document. The report describes 42 cases from medical files and 300 unpublished cases where humans sustained injuries after alleged encounters with anomalous vehicles, which included UFOs. In some cases, humans showed burn injuries or other conditions related to electromagnetic radiation, the report said, some of them appearing to have been inflicted by energy-related propulsion systems. The report also noted cases of brain damage, nerve damage, heart palpitations, and headaches related to anomalous vehicle encounters. It is unclear what kind of vetting process, if any, the AATIP used to investigate these alleged cases. The Sun has yet to share the full contents of the requested reports. The report also includes a list of alleged biological effects of The report also includes a list of alleged biological effects of UFO sightings on human observers between 1873 and 1994, compiled by the Mutual UFO Network, MUFON, a civilian nonprofit group that studies reported UFO sightings. The reported effects of UFO encounters include unaccounted for pregnancy, apparent abduction, paralysis, and experiences of perceived telepathy, teleportation, and levitation. The report concludes that there is sufficient evidence to support hypothesis that some advanced systems are already deployed and opaque to full U.S. understandings. For more details, check out the Sun's initial report on the FOIA request. So this is the video from a few years ago that some people tried to debunk. They're like, no, it's not moving that fast. But you've got all the fucking information of how fast it's moving. Yeah, that thing's hauling ass. So yeah. Let's see, the Sun's initial report. Oh, that's the one we read earlier. That was the first article. Okay. That was the first article we read. Let me see this one. There's another article here. From Beyond, alien first contact could destroy religion and spark global chaos even if they come in peace, warns ex-MOD investigator. First contact with an alien civilization could destroy organized religion as we know it, cause global chaos, a former UFO investigator warned. What do you guys think? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it would cause, because Christians or religious people would just be like, okay, well, God still exists, all right? Fuck you, I don't care. God's a thing. And the earth is only 6,000 years old. They would stick to it. You show these people motherfucking dinosaur bones. Yo, this is millions of years old. They go, nah, the devil put it there to fuck with you. Oh, shit. Okay, bro. All right. They don't care. It's just stuff I picked up over time. Or maybe it's random access to the Akashic record. Maybe. April 5th, 2022. So yesterday, today in Alaska and Hawaii. Well, are you further? I mean, well, yeah, you're right. It is still today, and it is still that time in Hawaii, huh? For me, it's the 6th now, but yeah, in England it was actually not that far ahead. Either way, yeah. So this shit just dropped. This is brand new. But did you guys want to read this thing about first contact and religion? How do you guys think religion would be affected, if anything? Do you think our whole society would plunge into chaos? Do you want to just discuss it, or I could read this article and then we could discuss? What are you guys thinking? Let me look here. They're so warm, and now the whole room smells like lemons. Such a keeper. One man show, I'm telling you, man. I am pretty sure I'm right about Catherine. And I think I've been right from the very beginning. And I'm gonna rub it in your face one day. Destroy organized religion. Oh yes, please. You know what, bro? Here's the thing. I'm not a big fan of organized religion. And by the way, to the new people that dropped in, don't forget to drop a like and let people know where you're hanging out. But I'm not a big fan particularly. But let me share a little story. I grew up in the ghetto. All right, I grew up in the hood. And so, like, it's not too hood. I mean, there's different levels of hood and shit. But, like, there was a chance of me getting stabbed every day. So I'm in the hood. And one day, my buddy lives across the street. He lives down the street from this park that let's just call it a hotbed for activity. So it's a park you don't want to go to once it starts getting dark. It doesn't need to get dark. It just needs to start getting dark. So don't go to that park after a certain time, even during the day. During the day, sometimes no one gives a fuck and they'll just do what they want to do. But my buddy's down the street from this park. And this vato guy shows up at his door, and he's knocking on the door. And we're teenagers at this point. This guy's a little bit older, and he says, "Hey, my name's let's just say his name's Jose. Hey, my name's Jose, and like I'm part of a church group that we're putting together a play in the park about how bad it is to lie, and like how much it hurts you. And we're going around the neighborhood to invite people to come watch our play. And like this guy says, I used to be a gangster, and then I found Jesus." And so like I'm trying to live a better life, and all of us we're all in the same group. And he told this whole story, and my buddy was like, well, I've got homework to do, but more power to you, man. That's awesome. Good for you. Have fun. But he was like, whoa. So there are some people out there who need Jesus. When people say, you need Jesus. Some people do. Oh, you need Jesus. Yep. That guy needed Jesus, and he found Jesus and became a better person for it. So it's not like organized religion doesn't have its moments. Kai, after everything that has happened in the last 3 years, do you really trust a word the government tells you? There are some things that they don't like, that they're not gonna, like this thing that was top secret. That wasn't even top secret. It wasn't even secret. Their secret is below top secret. It wasn't even secret. They just didn't talk about it. They didn't talk about it because they generally still follow a lot of rules. They still follow a lot of the structure that the government is built on. Because as soon as they start not following those things, that's when things start falling apart, and that's when they get fucked too. And so like, let's say all this paperwork, yeah, I believe it. I believe it. They redact. When they're redacting things, that's when they're hiding shit. Okay, you clearly don't want me to know that. But the Roman Catholic Church came out as being cool with aliens. They want to convert them. South Park was right again. Son of a bitch. Hail to author Stephen Walton. How are you doing, man? Good to see you. Bienvenidos al show, buddy. Your topic has been covered in sci-fi stories many times. Oh, yeah. But I mean, I'm talking about it here with you guys, with all of us. We're discussing it here. We don't need, we're not just going to let some book tell us what to believe, right? Books give us stuff to think about, particularly sci-fi. I know, I write the shit. She is just in a happy mood. Good. As it should be. Oh wait, no. Don't be so wait, that's the wrong one. Don't be so dismissive. She's not just in a happy mood. She knows what she's got. And you know what? I'm just going to say this real quick. Catherine, since I know you're listening, I feel like both of you look at each other in exactly the same way. And you both look at yourselves in exactly the same way, relative to one another. You have fun with that one. I am against organized hate. Yes, that is not good. There's different levels of ghetto. Guy 2022. There is, though. There is. There really is. Like, my ghetto was like, you'd hear gunshots every once, rarely, you know? It's not like you hear gunshots every day. You hear gunshots, you go, oh, that wasn't fireworks, that was a gunshot. And then you go back to what you were doing. But, like, there's places where you're just doing your shit. You're at home writing stuff and you hear pop, 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 pop. And you just keep going. See, those are different levels of ghetto. Right now, not bad. Just finished baking cookies. Oh, ooh, that was felt nice. I've been getting this out. I've been hitting the corner of my mueble. What's it called? My dresser here. Oh, I feel so. And then running the massager over it after. Feels so good. I've been. I don't need to go to get a massage. That's what I was thinking. I was gonna have to go see the chiropractor, and get a massage. I like what Jesus taught, but not what most Christians teach. True. But you know what? That Vato guy, he needed Jesus. He needed Jesus, and I'm glad he found it. And if what bugs me is when good people get converted, and then they're like, "I was so bad." I'm like, "No, you weren't. Are you kidding me, bro? You were awesome. You were like one of the nicest people." Oh, no. I used to do bad stuff like what? Fucking drink and party? Oh, big fucking deal. You know what that asshole did? Come on, man. And what happens is they become more zealous. I mean, what happens is they become zealous because they think they were bad when they weren't. So then they view normal behavior or even fringe, not even that bad behavior, as being bad. And it's not good. And if the Vatican can't convert them, aliens must die. Launch the crusade. Until a gray comes up to me and gives me a tugger, I say no dice. Oh, you don't believe in aliens, Manta Ray? Manta Ray, you don't believe in aliens? Aww. Come on, man. Really? With all the evidence? Jesus taught to treat people with love, compassion, dignity, and respect. Whereas a lot of Christians teach hate, fear, and hate. Yeah, true. But that guy that was putting on a play with his group of reformed gangsters about how it's not good to lie and like he's renounced violence and stuff, that guy's on the right track. So let's not. I mean, I literally gave an example of the kind of person that needs Jesus and found Jesus and applied Jesus in a constructive manner into their lives. But like, that's not. Yeah, there's bad Christians out there, but there's good Christians too, and there's people that need a little structure in their lives. Some people need it, and I used to bash Christianity more when I was more hardcore, like about being atheist and anti-religious and all this shit. But really, I didn't lead anywhere constructive. And I found a lot of really good Christian people that also don't like these kinds of Christians that you're talking about. So it's best not to paint with broad strokes like that. In today's world, I don't think it would be handled very well. I am in a happy mood. No guy has ever handed me a plate full of cookies baked with love, I'm sure, in my whole life. See, Catherine, I love your priorities. You're like, never in my life have I been handed a plate of cookies like this. This is life. You know what's important. I like it. I heard gunshots all the time growing up in Chicago, but I wouldn't consider my neighborhood a ghetto. No, because all of fucking Chicago is a ghetto. I think you would enjoy the insight. Yeah, you wouldn't consider it a ghetto because it's probably not at the level of ghetto that you would see growing up in Chicago. But that's why I said there's different levels of ghetto, and in Chicago, the whole fucking place is a ghetto, and just different neighborhoods are different levels of ghetto. So you probably lived in a ghetto like mine or softer, where you hear gunshots and you're it happens. I'm not the ghetto because generally I didn't grow up thinking of my neighborhood as a ghetto either. It's like this is home. But in retrospect, I would tell people about my neighborhood and they're like, oh man, I'm like, dude, it is not that bad. The city next to me. But then I'd be like, oh, but I guess in my city, some gangsters did shoot down a police helicopter. That's all right, or so I've heard. I kind of want to look into the details on that so I can bring it up specifically and be like, this is the story. But that's not going to dox me. It might dox me. I don't know. It won't. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I think you would enjoy the insight of Mr. Goat. The insight of Mr. Goat. Who's Mr. Goat? Let's look up Mr. Goat. Mr. Goat's Valentine. What the fuck is that? Autofill. Mr. Goat. Mr. Goat's Valentine. This is a kid's book. Okay, is Mr. Goat a YouTuber? Because that is not what I was expecting to find. What is this? Disturbing conclusion. Black holes imply about your reality. Let's see what that's about later. Not right now. Mr. Goat. Corridor cast. What? A new corridor channel. Crazy. Huh. I'll open that one too. More to come forward. Mount St. Helens burned beings experience. Oh, that's more facts from how to hunt. All right. That's that Bigfoot channel I was talking about. Mr. Goat, 415 subscribers, 21 videos. Mr. Goat, 32 subscribers. Mr. Goat, 700. Oh, Mr. Goat Italia. Mr. Goat M Team. Let me see if one of these is what you're talking about here, Manta Ray. Is this Mr. Goat right here? Is this the one you're talking about, Mr. Goat? Let me know. I'll scan the chat right now. Yeah, like Desmond Tutu and Dr. King and Jimmy Carter. Yeah, they are cool. Yep. And Christian. That's why I was saying you can't paint them with a broad brush. Problem is, most people who say they are Christian aren't actually Christian. Yes, that's true. That's the problem. When you start testing people, that's when you start finding out what they're about. When they live, in a Christian way, that's when you go, okay, no, you're actually decent. Or a complete jerk. I did some training to become a pastor briefly. Very briefly. Oh, until they're like, okay, so this is how you part a child's hair. Nope. Nope, I'm out. No, I don't believe jack crap the government says. They could tell me the sun is going to rise in the morning and I would prepare for endless night. See, the thing is, when the government is public about things, when they're out there talking to you, I don't believe them. I don't believe their shit. They're out here making statements. Fuck their statements. But when they comply with the law and they release information and then they don't say anything about it and they try to keep it down low, like shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Don't let them hear about this. That's when I trust the shit. That's when I trust information. When they don't want us to know it. When they're trying to hide it, or trying to be, shh. That's when I trust what they're actually putting out there because they don't want us to know. A lot of churches are actually being infiltrated by Marxist ideology right now as well. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Mr. Goat is part of the BPL, the Black Pants Legion. What is the Black Pants Legion? And this guy's black. Mr. Goat, is he part of the Black Pants Legion? If an alien spacecraft landed uncloaked in DC, all the guns would come out. Oh, wait. They made a movie about that in 1951. Marxist ideology, like what, for example? I've heard some stories from people that go to church that they're like, so I moved and I went to a church and this is what was going on, so I never came back. I was like, well, really, at a church? But yeah, it's a thing. You got to talk to people who kind of bounce around, maybe is the wrong word, people who are looking for a new church, is they end up running into that stuff. You see, like, anyway, I'm not getting into all that shit because we're here to talk about aliens. And a damn fine movie. Yeah, speaking of, that's right. We're here talking about aliens, Angelus. Shut the fuck up with that. Get on track. And a damn fine movie it is. It is quite a damn fine movie. Yes. But so, aliens. Mr. Goat. Okay. Let's look up Black Pants. Mr. Goat. Black Pants Legion. Black Pants Legion. Black Pants Legion has 88,000 subscribers. That looks like, and it's a channel. Okay. This looks like what you're talking about. Is this it? Manta Ray, is this what you're talking about? The Black Pants Legion? Churches were brought up. Oh yeah, churches were brought up. Yeah, but like you took a left turn there. We're talking about morality and whatnot. What if they're just pretending to be against something? Damn, I feel like my left shoulder needs something. Pretending to be against something coming out. Well, that's the thing. They don't. How do you pretend to try to? Okay, when you're avoiding something, you can't pretend you're avoiding. It's kind of. You're kind of talking yourself in circles there, Philip Blair. Yes. Yes to... Oh, this. Yeah, yes. Got you. And now we are hopefully moving away from them. I've been to... Oh, yeah, from churches. I've been to a lot of churches. I heard some Dungenist ideology. Is fasting from whiteness for Lent. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. Too much. Okay, I don't know what that is, but let's look at Black Pants Legion here. Let's listen to this intro here.
Welcome to the Black Pants Legion, my friends. This YouTube channel is made entirely by a madman, and I'm your guide from Sunless Sea to Space Station 13. Mr. Tex of the Black Pants Legion has created content for so many years now. Quite a lot of it is very good, or at least good enough to hire me.
Okay. What? Tex Talks. Battletech Mech Warrior Lore, the Atlas, lore and more. Battletech. Okay, hold on, let me look. Tex Talks? Does he mean Tech Talks? Like technology? Tech Talks? Mech Warrior Madness? Mech Warrior Online Urban Tech. Okay, so this is video games. Mech Warrior. What? They got Mech Warrior? Okay. Space Station, somewhat burn server, accidentally the whole. Oh, this is video games. I'm looking. This is more plays RimWorld. Sea of Thieves. Bro. I was expecting more alien stuff than this. What? There's what? There ain't no alien stuff here, man. What are you talking about? Ain't no alien stuff here. Rise of the Steve. It's more gaming. There's a lot of gaming in here. Macho Man. Randy Savage. Fuck. Oh, that's hard. That's hard to do. Okay. Having trouble following how Black Pants Legion ties into alien chats. If we pretend to be against this coming out, they'll believe it's true. Okay, then how come for 4 years they had to be, fighting for it? Also, here's the other thing, Philip Blair. When the thing that the government is trying to hide from you lines up with hundreds or thousands of eyewitness accounts and video evidence from civilians, probably not a lie. Because people have been saying a lot of this shit for years and years and years and years. Not just people. Former military, former pilots, former high-ranking military generals and shit. All different kinds of people from all walks of life, all different levels of society have talked about a lot of this stuff. There was, for example, I was watching this video about, it was about a number of things, but one of the stories that they covered was this pair of women who, this is going to tie in the church thing too, this pair of women out in the sticks. They're just driving through this 2-lane road in the forest on their way home or something. And in front of them, a giant triangular-ish black craft, bright lights. So they just, all of a sudden the forest is flooded with bright light, and they come to a hard stop. And this light hovers past, over the road, not far ahead of them. So they get out of their fucking car, and they think it's the rapture, because they're religious ladies. So they think it's the rapture. So they get out and they walk toward the light, and they're praying, and they get down on the floor and they're praying. And then a couple helicopters, local helicopters, come by and escort the craft away. And they go, oh, I guess that wasn't the rapture. So they get back in their car and they go home. It turns out a couple years later, they've got radiation poisoning. Or I don't know if a couple years later, sometime later, they start suffering the effects of radiation poisoning, and they're going to get treatment and stuff. So it turns out they get radiation poisoning. And they end up going on a tour of their local, not Air Force base, but a local, it was military base, but they're a small little thing out in the boonies. And if anyone has trouble out in the forest, out in et cetera, they send the choppers out, et cetera. So it's that base. And they go there for a tour. And the guy giving the tour is a pilot. The guy giving a tour starts talking about how, a couple years ago, I actually got to escort a secret government plane around here, yada, yada, yada. He's just kind of showing off a little bit. He can't talk about it, but he says, a couple years ago, there's a ship over, a military craft over here that me and the other helicopter guy got to fly out and escort them, and it was pretty cool. He tells the tour group. The two ladies are there in the tour group. So they raise their hand. He says, yes, ma'am. And she says, hi, yeah, she and I were actually there. We saw that. We were on such and such road, and we saw this craft, and they described what the fuck happened. And they're like, and this happened, and that happened, and then we saw the helicopters come by and escort the ship away. they blew up his spot. They gave out the whole fucking. They're like, oh, this is we were there and we got sick. And he's like, oh, okay, well, so moving on. And he stopped after he stopped talking because he realized, oh shit, they know. And he tried to smooth it over and just move along, up on with the tour. Let's just go on with the tour. And they tried to bring it up and he wouldn't talk about it. But then they went on a show. They were actually on TV, these women, on Oprah or some shit. They were on TV telling their story, talking about what happened. They're like, and we saw the light and we started praying and yada, yada, yada. But yeah, that shit happened. So these poor religious ladies thought the rapture was happening, got radiation poisoning for it. So I'm saying, like, there are stories out there documented on TV, in interviews, on video, in writing, in audio calls, etc. There are a lot of incidences out there of people or former military people discussing things. And then if the government files that come out that they're trying to keep under wraps line up exactly with what the people have been saying for decades, yes, it's essentially, logically, if you do the math on that, that's probably the truth, especially if they're still redacting information from it. I will leave you a comment later, okay? Sounds good, man. Let me see. Yes, but it could be a bait and switch. Logically, no. I want them to release the rest of the JFK files. Oh, yeah. Well, I think that would implicate some people that are still alive or have power because of it, or might destroy the whole military industrial complex, or might take down the CIA or the Secret Service, or any number of things. Because if you remember the JFK file, or the JFK video, the video, the Secret Service is following behind the car until they're pulled off. They're pulled away from the car. They're told to stop following it. And the guy that's behind it, you see him turn around and go, what the fuck? He's like this, like, what the fuck? And because they stopped. And he was pissed. You see it in the fucking video. He's like jogging behind the car and goes like this. And so, yeah, there was definitely some foul play in that one there. How many, and then what's his name took the fall. How many psyops have they unleashed? You've talked to Fed. How many psyops have they unleashed? Fedorable, horrible, you mean? How many psyops have they unleashed? Dude, I don't know. A lot? I'm sure plenty. We've talked about some of that stuff. We're like, this is bullshit. This is a psyop, etc. That was in Daytona, Texas. The story I'm talking about with the religious ladies, that was in Texas. I don't think that was in Texas. That was somewhere a little more rural. It was in the early 80s too. It was in the early 80s before we started seeing these big triangle craft, I think. The big triangle craft came out later, so I have a feeling that the big triangle craft might be ours. Or we're modeling ours after someone else's. Oh, I know, Philip Blair. Oh, and they said officially, the government said, that was an experimental nuclear craft. Like, okay, motherfucker, that's very vague. I know, Philip Blair. Also, they have been decentralizing up to aliens. Desensitizing, sorry. They've been desensitizing up to aliens for years. The media, that's why a lot of this stuff is coming out, coming to fruition as of late. That's true. Over the years, kind of the media has been driving home the whole alien thing. Like, hey guys, like, once enough people think it's true, it might be okay. But I think they're afraid of I think they're afraid of nothing. I don't think there would be widespread chaos the way they're thinking. Yep, my great uncle saw a UFO in the 50s, and he later became a Boeing engineer. He never found out what it was he saw. As far as you know. Radiation poisoning. Oh no. A mother, her son, and the grandmother, and they did have classic symptoms of radiation exposure. Yeah, that is a different story. I don't know I don't know the story you're talking about, Dr. Forbin Colossus. I was citing another story. It was just 2 women. There was no son involved. So yeah, if you want to share that one or something, if you got something for me there, that'd be great, because I'm not familiar with that one. I guess I could try looking it up later if I remember. Senator John McCain intervened so an American veteran could get health care coverage for the UFO encounter he had at Rendlesham Forest in the UK. Wow, that's awesome. That's good for Senator John McCain. I don't think anything outside of a nuke could take down the CIA or the FBI. A nuke wouldn't do it either. And yeah, they could be absolutely dismantled. That's supposedly that's what JFK was trying to do. Supposedly JFK was trying to dismantle the CIA, which is why he got. Actually, either the CIA or the entire military-industrial complex. But that's what happened. So what happens is they sent a message with JFK. They're like, we don't care if you're the president. It is what it is. It's fucked up. The eye in the triangle. The eye in the triangle is based on your third eye. But I found some interesting stuff about the. I've learned some interesting stuff about the Freemasons and whatnot. It kind of made me start questioning some of what we think we know about them, because as much as we get this whole like, oh, secret society, et cetera stuff, like there's another possible side to it. We can get into that if you guys want, or we could circle back around. But essentially, the long short of it is that the Freemasons formed to preserve old wisdom from long ago, like old ancient wisdom that was being suppressed, and then it had a resurgence, and then it was kind of being suppressed again. So then the intellectuals of the time kind of got together and preserved it through a secret society. And so what if the whole demonization of the Freemasons is out of essentially what if it's misinformation? What if you're the one that's giving into misinformation? Most of Texas is very, very rural. Yeah, but the geography. Okay, I think they were in the northeast somewhere, or in the central. They were up in that area, a heavily forested area. It was not Texas, and it was only 2 people. Like I already said that I don't know the story you're referencing. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying I just don't know the one you're talking about. I'm talking about a different one. But I'm curious about with the story that you're bringing up. I might just look it up actually right now. Charles Halt? I don't know who that is. Let's go to Texas. And there's no way to get rid of them. They're too powerful. That's not true. That's not true. The thing is, you'd have to know a certain amount, and you'd have to play a little cloak and dagger. But nothing is too powerful. No one is too powerful. And ultimately, I think there are other forces at work in the world that would be more important to take down, that we could actually take down with 1,000 cuts. 1,000 little cuts would take them down. But I'm not going to say anything more than that. Because you can't. It's a bad idea. I just, if you guys want to do a little research to try and figure out what I'm talking about, that's fine. All right. Let me see. So yeah, I do believe that it's possible. It's just that I think that if we prioritize other, if we prioritize others, that would be more productive. Because there is a lot of the problems that we're seeing now. The thing is, those organizations will adapt with the times, but the ones that need to be squashed will not. They will, like a bulldozer, just keep going on their own path. And that's hurting everyone on the planet. Betty Cash, Vicky Landrum, and Casey Landrum on the road to Dayton, Texas, December 1980. December 29th, 1980. Oh, man, just before Christmas? Okay. Betty Cash, Vicky Landrum, Casey, Vicky, Casey Landrum, Dayton, Texas, 1980. Yeah, and my story was also from a little bit later in the 80s. I think, if I remember right. CASH-LANDRUM incident on Wikipedia. Oh, wow. Watch UFO Hunters Season 2, Episode 8. Okay, UFO Hunters covered it. Betty Cash and Vicky Landrum Unsolved Mysteries Wiki. CASH-LANDRUM UFO Incidents. Science, How Stuff Works. CASH-LANDRUM Incident. Did the UFO Encounter Cause? Bergstrom. UFO Hunters. Cora. Terrifying true story of the CASH-LANDRUM UFO incident. It's a little long. I'm just going to check Wiki real quick. Let me just see. Hey, what's happening, PJ? Good to see you, man. Yo, you missed a bunch of alien talk. We're still talking about it, but you missed about an hour of it. I just want to form my own magic cult at this point and then make them deal with the problem after I die. That's funny, dude. Oh, 1 second. That hit me suddenly. All right, let's just check this real quick. Let's check it out. What does this say? The CASH-LANDRUM incident was an alleged unidentified flying object sighting in the United States in 1980, which witnesses claimed was responsible for causing death and property damage. Okay, well, that's a little too short. I want the other one. The terrifying true story. Okay, this one's a little hyperbolic, but let's check it out. Maybe not hyperbolic, maybe a little dramatic, exaggerated. I don't know. Let's see. Their story has all the elements. Nope, I'm going to skip. Known as the CASH-LANDRUM UFO incident, the sighting has fascinated and baffled researchers and UFO enthusiasts for 3 decades. Textbook examples of 3 decades. 1980 is 4 decades now. A textbook example of a close encounter of the second kind, as defined by ufology pioneer Dr. J. Allen Hynek. The CASH-LANDRUM incident left its 3 primary witnesses with physical evidence of their encounter in the form of blistered skin, sores, nausea, and in the case of Betty Cash, a life of deteriorating health and cancer. Ah, that sucks, dude. That really sucks. However, the most disturbing aspect of the case may be the witnesses' insistence that scores of United States military helicopters escorted the mysterious and possibly malfunctioning craft from the scene. Ufologists have theorized that the object may have been scores of military. Wow. So in the one that I heard, it was just the 2 helicopters. It wasn't like a fleet of helicopters. Ufologists have theorized that the object may have been everything from a distressed alien spacecraft to an experimental atomic-powered plane Others have insisted that the entire event was an elaborate hoax. Nevertheless, Betty Cash and Vicky Landrum maintained their version of the events until their deaths. Oh, they're poor things. This is the terrifying true story. Okay, what if I am? Okay, there is a chance that I could be Dr. Foreman Colossus. There's a chance I could have been referencing the same story and I would have had no clue that there was a third person. Because to my knowledge, it was just two ladies. But let's see, as encountered by the author of UFO Expert of the evening of December 29th, 1980, diner owner Betty Cash, 52, her friend and employee Vicky Landrum, 60, and Vicky's 7-year-old grandson Kobe ventured out in Cash's Oldsmobile, a Cutlass, for the regular Monday night bingo game. However, Cash and Landrum's weekly outing of fun and fellowship was cut short. The game was canceled for the Christmas and New Year's holidays. Instead, they would settle for dinner out before returning home. Heading for Dayton, Texas, a small town on the outskirts of Houston, Betty Cash steered onto State Road 1485, a secluded, tree-lined, 2-lane road. I'm going to make this a little bigger because it's a smaller text. 2-lane road. Although the road cut through dense and dark pine forest, it was a familiar route to Cash and Landrum. The friends made small talk as they made their way home. From the back seat, young Kobe Landrum was the first to notice that something was amiss in the night sky. Spotting a bright light above the treetops, he pointed out to his grandmother. Just 35 miles from Houston International Airport, Vicky Landrum logically assumed it was just another large passenger jet coming in for a landing. A little low, perhaps, but nothing out of the ordinary. Nevertheless, as they drew within a mile of the object, they soon realized that they were not looking at any sort of aircraft they had ever seen before. We didn't know what it was, but we knew there was something that was lighting up the sky. Betty Cash drove closer to a glowing reddish object floating just yards over the road. Oh, wow, just yards over the road? Holy shit. Vicky Landrum became panicked and insisted that Cash stop the car, emitting an intermittent burst of flames. The object generated intense heat. The interior of the car was like an oven when Cash slammed on her brakes. Bracing herself, Vicky Landrum placed her hands on the dashboard. Cash would later discover that the dash's vinyl had become so softened by the heat that Landrum's fingers made permanent impressions. Whoa! That's nuts. How fucking hot was it in that car? Cash exited the vehicle to get a better look while Landrum stayed behind to console the terrified Kobe, who was cowering in the passenger side floorboard. What? Floorboard of a car? Well, okay. It was a diamond-shaped object. 4 points, but the one at the top was rounded, and so were the sides. Betty Cash said in an interview with Unsolved Mysteries, then at the bottom, flames were shooting out. The heat was tremendous. It just felt like I was burning from the inside out. I was horrified. The only thing I was thinking was, are we going to get out of here alive? In September 81, Vicky Landrum gave her description of the object to Houston Chronicle. It was diamond-shaped and as tall as a water tower, Landrum told staff writer Sidney Horswell. It was a dull gray metallic color, and it just floated there and made a roaring sound like a flamethrower and then high-pitched beeps. It had a flammable smell like lighter fluid. Twin-rotor helicopters point to military involvement. Yep. As recounted in the transcript of an interview conducted by officials at Bergstrom Air Force in August 1981, Betty Cash observed the object for several minutes before the light and heat became too much to bear. Using the leather jacket to shield her hand from the super fucking forest on fire if it was shooting flames out the bottom. The treetop level, gaining and losing altitude with each spray of reddish yellow flame. Religious woman, Vicky Landrum was convinced she was witnessing the opening moments of the apocalypse. In an attempt to console her frightened and crying grandson, she explained that they were about to meet their savior, and he would do them no harm. I said, Kobe, don't be afraid. I said, if you see a man, it'll be Jesus. Don't be afraid. But if you see someone, it's Jesus, and you're dead. And I said, he's come to carry us to a better place. According to the witnesses, fiery objects beeping and whooshing was soon replaced by a thunder of helicopters. A helicopter engine is 23 twin rotor. Jesus. CH-47 Chinook military transport choppers arrived on the scene, clearing the treetops. The UFO rose higher, with the choppers surrounding it in tight formation. As the object receded in the distance, Cash was finally able to start the car, making their way home. The Cash and Langstroms continued to glimpse the object and the helicopters through the trees. Okay, so it might be the same incident, Dr. Forbin Colossus. Not a problem, Kai. It is a very interesting story. It is indeed. Apologies for thinking it was a mix-up there. Let me see. Betty Cash, Dayton, Texas. I just want to form my. Let me see. Doc, that's PJ. Hey, welcome back, Courtney. I'm gonna have nightmares. Well, I mean, it's not like you're seeing the alien ship. You're more at risk of Bigfoots. Frightened and perplexed by their harrowing encounter, Cash and Langstroms returned home. To their horror, the worst of their baffling experience was yet to come. Approximately 6 hours later, all three witnesses began experiencing intense nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. To varying degrees, each exhibited symptoms consistent with severe sunburn, with blisters and sores erupting on their skin. Betty Cash, who had the longest direct exposure to the object, suffered the most extreme after effects. Betty Cash's 20-year-old son, Toby, begged her to go to the emergency room, but when she discovered that there had been no media coverage of the object, she decided to wait. I was so sick all night, Cash told the producers of A&E, The Unexplained. The next morning, I woke up and there were big gobs of hair on my pillow, and I had blisters just all over my face. Fearing ridicule, the women avoided seeking medical attention. But as Betty Cash's condition worsened, they at last went to the hospital. Cash remained hospitalized for a month, according to her physician, Dr. Brian McKelland. The cause of her injuries seemed obvious. The illness that she suffered 3 weeks after her exposure was an absolute classic radiation injury. He said in 2009, Cash's daughter, Mickey Giesinger, Giesinger, I don't know, fueled speculation regarding her mother's alleged radiation exposure when she revealed to UFO investigator Pat Uskert of the History Channel's UFO Hunters that she had been isolated in a hospital room marked with a hazardous materials symbol. The evasive chopper pilot. Okay, yeah, it is absolutely the same story. So, I guess this is what I was talking about, the Cash-Landrum UFO incident. For months after the incident, 7-year-old Colby Landrum, sorry. Have I been saying that wrong the whole time? Colby Landrum remained frightened and emotionally traumatized. The appearance of a twin-rotor military helicopter over Dayton, Texas, the following April nearly sent him over the edge. Hoping to calm her grandson's fears, Vicky Landrum took Colby to see the CH-47 Chinook, the same type of helicopter they had seen escorting the UFOs months earlier. As it landed for a public exhibition, according to... Okay, so public exhibition, she took him to see the helicopter. Makes sense. Hello, Jenny. Bienvenido, señorita. So, according to UFO investigator John M. Schussler, as Vicky and Colby waited in line to board the chopper, Landrum and another witness overheard the pilot tell a visitor that he had recently been on a mission to check on a UFO in trouble near Huffman, Texas. When Landrum expressed her happiness at meeting him because she had been one of the people injured by the UFO, the pilot refused to speak with her further. You got to know how to play it low key. You don't let people know everything. But yeah, that sucks. UFO investigators from Vehicle Internal Systems Investigative Team visit. Come on, guys. You just name them the way you do so that you can make the acronyms. We see you. We see you trying to be cool. It's like SHIELD. That when they first mentioned SHIELD in the Avengers movies, they're like, it sounds like someone really wanted the acronym to be spelled SHIELD. That's how this shit looks when it's called Visit and it has to do with fucking aliens. Vehicle Internal Systems Investigative Team. Fuck off. Later, located the pilot and approached him for comment. Although he admitted that he was aware of the Cash-Landrum incident, he denied participating in an operation in East Texas on the night of December 29th, 1980. According to the Pentagon report by Lieutenant Colonel George Saran, the pilot was Chief Warrant Officer 3 Culberson. What? 3? Like the number 3? His name was the number 3? The report states, in conversation with the aircraft pilot, CW3 Culberson, okay, Miss Landrum heard him to say that he was flying the evening of the incident. When pressed for more details, the pilot responded that he was prohibited from adding more information because of national security. The witness searched for answers. So I guess that does not look like she described, right? She said triangle, like this, like a 4 corners, or was it a diamond? Anyway, after the incident, the witness went on a desperate search for answers, called a number of government agencies to no avail. Although Landrum adamantly believed that the object she and Betty Cash saw was strictly an earthly phenomenon, she contacted NASA in hopes that someone at the space agency could find some answers. Eventually, she was put in contact with NASA aerospace engineer John Schuessler, an avid UFO researcher and investigator. Schuessler immediately began an in-depth investigation of the CASH-LANDRUM incident. Initially, Schuessler was skeptical of the story. However, upon meeting the women, it was obvious to him that they had experienced life-altering trauma, as detailed in UFO in this book. Schuessler visited the scene of the incident 7 weeks after Cash and Landrum's frightening encounter with the diamond-shaped craft. Okay, 7 weeks. So this is only 7 weeks after. Unaware of what he might find, he was shocked to discover a large area of scorched pavement in precisely the area described by the witnesses. Days after Schuessler's discovery, that section of State Road 1985 was repaved. I hope he took pictures. Schuessler also met other possible witnesses, including Lamar Walker, a Dayton police officer who observed a formation of twin-rotor military. Included the Dayton police officer. Military helicopters on the night of the incident. They all had their ground search landing lights on. He told UFO Hunters in 2009. They was definitely for sure looking for something. Another witness, Jerry McDonald, claimed that he saw an object that glowed with the intensity of an acetylene torch traveling the skies over Dayton minutes before the CASH-LANDRUM encounter. So yeah, this is lingering health problems plagued the witnesses. So they ended up dying of cancer, apparently. Cash-LANDRUM filed a lawsuit against the United States government in 1982, seeking $20 million in damages. The witnesses claimed that the military was responsible for their injuries. Continuing health issues. In 1986, U.S. District Court judge dismissed the case due to lack of evidence, citing a military investigation by Lieutenant Colonel George Sorin. The court determined that official records could not corroborate that the Army had deployed CH-47s on December 20th, or that any breach of the military was in possession of an experimental craft matching Cash and Landrum's description. Skeptics challenged the narrative. So, did you guys want me to keep on reading this, by the way? Did you want to go into because here it gets into their mounting health and stuff. So I skipped that because it's not aliens. But the poor ladies did suffer for it. Many skeptics have pointed out the inconsistencies in the witnesses' accounts of the event. Others question the inconclusive medical evidence regarding the alleged exposure to radioactive materials. The harshest critics claim that the entirety of the encounter is an elaborately constructed hoax. Okay, that sounds ridiculous. Call it a hoax. Huffman is only a few miles from Dayton. Okay. I was saying hi, CW3, Chief Warrant Officer 3. Oh, okay. Thank you. That's helpful. This article covers the event really well. Yeah, it's going into detail. I'm readjusting my legs here. I've been sitting like that for a little bit. Writer Robert Schaefer cited a number of suspicious elements in the case's narrative in 2014 article, The Skeptical Inquirer. Among his assertions are the possibilities that the investigator John Schuessler judiciously judiciously omitted evidence contrary to the witnesses' statements, including the location of the incident, the lack of photographs of the alleged burn marks on the asphalt, didn't take pictures, at the encounter site that Schuessler says he saw on his first visit to the location raises other questions. Most disturbingly, I mean, it's not like cameras were as we didn't all have one in our pocket back then, but it's not hard if you're going to go investigate something. It's not hard to stop off somewhere, get a disposable camera, because back then that shit was normal. Disposable cameras all over the place. Or I don't know about disposable camera. That was a '90s thing. Was it a thing in 1980, or did you have to have the big camera to do things? Because then that would complicate that for that dude a little bit more. But burn marks. So he saw his first visit. Most disturbingly, Schaefer quotes an email from Dr. Gary Posner, MD, in which the physician states that from his observance of photographs and of Betty Cash's burns, the pattern of the wounds suggests that they may have been self-inflicted. How? How do you self-inflict radiation damage on yourself? The fuck? He also suggests that the secrecy surrounding Cash's medical records is rooted in keeping contradictory evidence and the possibility that Cash suffered from Munchausen syndrome. Hey, Darius! a psychological condition in which the diagnosed feigns illness or inflicts injuries to gain attention, sympathy, or gratification out of the public eye. Okay. He also suggests that this is where his argument gets absolutely stupid. He also suggests that the secrecy surrounding Cash's medical records is rooted in keeping contradictory evidence and the possibility that Cash suffered. Okay, why would so first of all, medical records are confidential, but if these women are like, no, put it out there, like, that's fine, I had radiation poisoning, show the people, but they're not doing it anyway, that means someone else is squashing that, because some ladies out in the middle of the forest shouldn't randomly get radiation poisoning. It doesn't work that way. You don't just randomly get radiation poisoning, radiation burns and shit. That doesn't happen. And so this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, they're hiding the medical records because there's contradictory evidence. Or the evidence supports exactly what she said. That makes more sense that they would hide the records if it actually lined up with what she's saying, because then it gives credence to her entire story. So this is just straight up illogical. A connection to Britain's most famous UFO case. Oh, let's see what this is. An often overlooked aspect of the CASH-LANDRUM incident is that it virtually coincided with Great Britain's most famous UFO incident, the Rendlesham Forest sightings. On the night of December 26th, 1980, a security team on patrol at RAF Woodbridge in Suffolk, England, a British airbase then in use by the United States Air Force, witnessed what they believed to be a burning aircraft descended into nearby Rendlesham Forest. As detailed in Encounter in Rendlesham Forest, the inside story of the world's best documented UFO incident by Nick Pope. Sergeant Jim Pennison and airmen were dispatched to the scene. Deep in the woods, the men discovered a roughly triangular object. Yeah, see, triangular, not diamond-shaped like that image up there. Floating in a clearing. There was evidence that the UFO had broken tree branches on its way. Later investigation revealed an increase in radioactivity in the area, as well as scorch marks and indentations in the ground. On December 28th, the night before the CASH-LANDRUM encounter, Woodbridge personnel watched a bright red object project beams of light at the ground as it passed over the base. Witnesses reported feeling the atmosphere heat up as the UFO flew by. Look at these poor ladies. This is the one that got all the radiation sickness. Vicky Landrum and Betty Cash's lives were permanently altered by their strange experience in 1980, facing devastating medical debt and no longer physically capable of caring for herself. Cash left Texas to live with her mother in Alabama. Attention from both the tabloid and mainstream press made the women minor celebrities. They made numerous TV appearances throughout the 80s and 90s. Fame, however, was never their aim. Above all, Cash and Landrum wanted answers and justice from a government they felt had abandoned them. Ostracized and ridiculed by her community, Landrum told Fox's sightings that the experience had left her unable to work, abandoned by her friends. She claimed to have become a virtual hermit in her hometown. That's so sad. That's so sad. On December 29th, 1998, exactly 18 years to the day of the encounter, wow, Betty Cash passed away at the age of 69. Vicky Landrum died on September 12th, 2007. She was 83. The last surviving witness. This guy. For most of his life, Kobe Landrum has kept out of the spotlight. A child at the time, that explains why. That explains why I didn't realize that he was part of it, because the other two ladies were a lot more in front of the cameras. Let me catch up here real quick. Of course, people don't want to admit they're wrong doing with radiation or whatever. Yeah, but where the fuck are you going to get radiation to self-inflict harm on yourself like that? It doesn't work for me. It doesn't make sense. Instamatics were cheap in the 80s. Is that a camera? Disposable cameras were late 80s. Okay, got you. 110 film cameras. Okay, time to take the cookie plate away. They're half gone. They said that the kids back in the 90s weren't getting cancer because of radiation. People suck. I miss those cameras. I have a rather nice 35mm camera from Germany. Can't get film for it anymore. That's a bummer. The story is sad. Abandoned by her friends. Yeah, I think actually these days a lot of us can relate to that. Those of us who are able to discern information and think for ourselves, generally we have at least a couple friends that have walked away because they're douchebags. Me too, yeah. Fucking see you next Tuesdays. All right, so a child at the time of the incident, he's largely chosen not to speak about the experience. That makes sense why he was never really public. He was a kid at the time. So that means that while the ladies were going through this, he was growing up. And so you're a kid, you're a teenager, you're not going to talk about this shit. He's largely chosen not to speak. Whoops. Shut up. Okay, hold on. There we go. A child at the time of the incident, he's largely chosen not to speak about the experience. In 2009, however, Landrum broke his silence. Appearing on UFO Hunters, Landrum confronted Lieutenant Colonel Sarin about the government's involvement. Like his grandmother and Betty Cash, he walked away with no answers. Bro. Never mind. I think what I was about to say is no bueno. I was about to say, how would Rorschach question this guy? But I wasn't going to say that. That's a nice way of saying it. All my friends ghosted me a year ago. And many thanks for reading about the encounter. It stands out in the UFO lore. It does indeed. It was a good learning experience. Yeah, it is a good learning experience. I saw the warning signs for certain people. I was like, this is one of those fucking people, I get the feeling. Sure enough, they fucking were. One of them has a serious ass whooping coming their way after we talk things out. Should we talk things out? Cool. All right. Are we cool now? Actually, before we are, I'm going to toss him some boxing gloves. Let's do this. So yeah, for most of his life, in 2013, Colby Landrum gave his first in-depth interview appearing on podcast UFO. Landrum told the story of the encounter and expressed his frustration with the government's denials. He also revealed frightening details about the event's aftermath. I can remember them coming out to the house several times. I don't know who they were, whether they were government officials or what. They would come out and test us for radiation every so often. I was told to be careful because somebody could scoop me up and take me away. Oh, so they were threatening them too. So here's the Berkshire UFO sighting. Oh wait, that's a different one than what was mentioned before. We can talk about it though if you guys want. If you guys want to talk about this one. 1969. Huh. Well, that's the what's it called? CASH-LANDRUM incident. So yes, that is precisely the incident I was talking about. Dr. Forbin Colossus, thank you for giving me the info on that so I could look it up. Yeah, I learned who my real friends were years ago. When you get sick and can't be the fun life of the party you used to be, you find out who really were your friends. Let's see. Thanks, I'm good enough. Yeah, okay, you guys are talking to each other. Well, let's change this up a little bit. Oh, you know what? I had an opportunity to use this clip in there with the guy talking about how it's what's it called? Oh, they're hiding their medical records because it has evidence that goes contrary to the lady's story. Oh, really?
That does not make sense. Why would a Wookiee, an 8-foot-tall Wookiee, want to live on Endor with a bunch of 2-foot-tall Ewoks? That does not make sense.
All right, so now
And now for something completely different.
I'm gonna have to add this one too. All right. Well, you guys want to talk about aliens for a little more? I've got one more article I said I was going to cover. The Psychedelics and Consciousness. But this alien talk has been fun. And anyone who's new, who just came by, don't forget to drop a like. Fedorable the Horrible would really appreciate it. I'm gonna play a little bit of what's his name? Stephen He?
72%? What the hell? You running a channel or a car wash? Why everybody leaving?
I accidentally clicked this one, but I want to see it anyway because it's awesome.
You win. Perfect.
Fedorable the Horrible is a great guy. Conscious aliens on psychedelics? Bro, I would say I wouldn't mind. It would be fun to do mushrooms with an alien, but I'm pretty sure I don't know if aliens would respond the same to mushrooms. Would they be tripping balls too? Or would your deep thoughts be like to him just child's play, like you're like, dude, what about the universe? What if this happens? And he's like, dude, my 7-year-old nephew asked me that like 2 weeks ago. For you, it's like a deep thought, but for him, he's like, my nephew asked me that. This is how it works. I have a psych eval in 8 hours. Maybe I should tune out on the alien talk. Well, the alien talk is more or less done, unless you guys want to go on a little bit more. Let's talk about psychedelics and consciousness. The relationship between psychedelics and consciousness. I like how that goes, like that. Summary: when beliefs change following psychedelic use in relation to mystical experiences, attribution of consciousness tend to increase. Attributions of consciousness. Interesting. Source: Johns Hopkins Medicine. Probably those space mushrooms from Tau City 4. Yeah. You give them the alien mushrooms. He's like, bro, you want some of the good shit? Eat this. Psychedelic drugs like psilocybin, an ingredient found in so-called magic mushrooms, have shown promise in treating a range of addictions and mental health disorders. Yet, there's something mysterious and almost mystical about their effect, and they are commonly believed to provide unique insights into the nature of consciousness. Pardon me. Okay. Now, here we go. Now, a new study by Johns Hopkins medicine researchers addresses the question of whether psychedelics might change the attribution of consciousness to a range of living and non-living things. The findings, published March 28th in Frontiers in Psychology, reveal that higher ratings of mystical type experiences, which often include a sense that everything is alive, were associated with greater increases in the attribution of consciousness. This study demonstrates that when beliefs change following a psychedelic experience, attributions of consciousness to various entities tend to increase. Says the postdoctoral research followed Johns Hopkins. Yada, yada, yada. One of the researchers involved in the study. It's not clear why, whether that might be an innate drug effect, cultural factors, or whether psychedelics might somehow expose innate cognitive biases that attribute features of the mind to the world. For the study, the researchers analyzed data gathered between August 2020 and January 2021 on 1,606 people who had, you only needed one had, who had, do an apostrophe D, or just one had, who had a belief-changing psychedelic experience. Participants averaged 35 years of age and were predominantly white, 89%, male, 67%, and from the United States, 69%. Study participants completed the internet-based survey that included questions focused on belief changes attributed to a single psychedelic experience with a classic psychedelic substance, e.g. psilocybin, mushrooms, LSD, ayahuasca. The survey also included questions about demographics, psychedelics, use, personality, and scientific knowledge and attributes. The study found that among people who had a single psychedelic experience that altered their beliefs in some way, there were large increases in attribution of consciousness to a range of animate and inanimate things. For example, from before to after the experience, attribution of consciousness to insects grew from 33% to 57%, to fungi from 21% to 56%, to plants from 26% to 61%, to inanimate natural objects from 8% to 26%. Wow, that's a big jump. And to inanimate man-made objects from 3% to 15%. Wow. Those last two were significant. Oh, look at that beautiful Mandelbrot. It's gorgeous. The study found that among people who had a single psychedelic experience that altered their beliefs in some way, there were large increases in attribution of consciousness to a range of animate and inanimate things. Image is in the public domain. On average, participants indicated the belief-changing experience in question occurred 8 years prior to taking the survey. So these belief changes may be long-lasting. Yeah, it lasts forever. Classic psychedelics, the pharmacological class of compound that includes psilocybin and LSD, produces visual and auditory illusions and profound changes in consciousness, altering a person's awareness of their surroundings and of their thoughts and feelings. These substances produce unusual and compelling changes in conscious experience, which have prompted some to propose that psychedelics may provide unique insights into the nature of consciousness itself. The results suggesting that a single psychedelic experience can produce a broad increase in attribution of consciousness to other things raises intriguing questions about possible innate or experiential mechanisms underlying such belief changes, says Ronald Griffin's PhD. The Oliver Lee McCabe 3 PhD. Fuck off. I'm not going to read any of that shit. The topic of consciousness is a notoriously difficult scientific problem that has led many To conclude, it is not solvable. Oh, we call those quitters. Fuck them. About this psychedelics and consciousness research news. Author, source, etc. All right. Interesting. So, that's a big jump. That's a big jump. Let me pull this back up, actually. That's a 20%, well, 24% increase. 21 to 56. Wow. That's a 35% increase. 26 to 61. Plants. I think plants are the biggest jump. Let me see. 25. Okay, 45 to inanimate natural objects from 8 to 26%. You know what? Once I realized that this one's the biggest one. This one doesn't seem so big, but inanimate natural objects and inanimate man-made objects from 3% to 15%. So that's 12. This is still the biggest one for plants. And I like, yeah, man, it's nuts. Has anyone here not taken psychedelics? Anyone here who has not taken psychedelics? Do they interest you? Are you curious about them? Does this kind of thing make you wonder? Ancient astronaut theorists say yes. Oh, hell yes. I'm listening, but I'm going to leave the chat. Hit me up when you're done if you have a chance. Okay. See you later, Courtney. I do have a little bit of time, but I not a lot. Psychosoba Cybin user. Oh wow, man! Now watch is telling me it's time. What time it is? Sounds like Mr. Peabody. Is Fedorable here? No, Fedorable is not here. But I have the thing is he said a thing once that I thought was funny. Whoops. And so I put it up as a what's this called again? Overlay? Yeah, put it up as an overlay. Then I modified it. But this looks gaudy. I don't like this one. So I'm going to animate this. But for now, I've got this one. This one, I need to animate it. Because you can put a video clip of the animation, and it'll just play here at the bottom like I'm a newscaster. I need to do that. It's going to be cool, man. It's going to be cool. Today's Tuesday, right? Oh, it's Wednesday now. That's right. Started off as Tuesday. This is still the Tuesday night show. I just kind of carried on into the next day. But yeah, man, dude, we've had. I fucking love talking about all this stuff. Do I not have any aliens clips? I don't have any clips of aliens, not even from South Park. I mean, I guess there's this one. We did kind of bring up ghosts.
That's spooky.
Oh, do you believe in ghosts, Ted?
I do. But more importantly, I think they need to believe in themselves. You know?
Okay.
Oh, I freaking love Ted Lasso. When's Ted Lasso coming back? Ted Lasso season 3. Release date. December. Lame. I want it now. I want it this summer. It would be great if Fedorable's here, though. Much love, Fedorable the Horrible. If you're out there watching the replay. No for me. I've been around people who got serious weird. Oh, with the psychedelics? Well, just because the people got weird doesn't mean that. Well, here's the thing. Your first time can be a little overwhelming. And also, it kind of depends on the individual. Do you remember in what's it called? Here, let me pull up the clip. Let's pull this up because this will be what's the name? Oh, Pineapple Express. Whoop. There we go. Elon Musk, yep. Thank you. I'm watching that. After. That's not the one I wanted. The scene with the kids. Remember they're getting the kids high in Pineapple Express, and then later on he's like, in case you didn't notice, that cop lady caught us because we were high. He says, nah, man, nah, she caught us because those kids couldn't handle it. They couldn't keep their shit on the down low. So he's blaming the kids for blowing up their spot. He's like, y'all, these kids couldn't keep it together. It's their fault. They couldn't keep. They blew it up for us. Like it was their. So that is actually a true thing, though. So even if you're with people that got weird, maybe they just couldn't handle their shit. Maybe they're like in what's that movie? Is it Harold and Kumar? No, it's a different one. Eurotrip. In Eurotrip, they go into a shop and they're in Amsterdam. And they're eating brownies. They're like, oh, I'm so high. And then the guy's like, these aren't special brownies. They're just regular brownies. And they realize they're just being idiots. Like, there are people like that. So what's the kind of people you're around? Because that's really going to change their reaction and experience and yours as well. So if you're going to do it, if you're going to do psychedelics, you should do it with maybe someone spiritual, someone responsible, someone who can handle their shit. Ideally, you don't want to just go straight to mushrooms. You want to try smoking weed first. You want to try maybe have a pot brownie. Just, steps. Take steps up to that. But you can have really profound experiences. It doesn't have to be tonight. Okay, got you. I haven't recently. Is everything okay, Courtney? Or whatever you'd call it in the morning. I haven't recently, though. Yeah, I haven't recently either, but I guess last year, but I do want to. Again, it would be fun. I had the honor of smoking with Kai. Yeah, Angela, that was fun. Was that your first time, or was it just you don't do it often? And because I remember you weren't too familiar with the process. It was fun, though. That is me responsible. Always the designated driver. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, if you're gonna do mushrooms, you go, okay, I'm not going anywhere tonight. My first time was with a group of friends. It was like 9 of us. A bunch of people lived together, and we were all on mushrooms except for like one person because she wasn't. But like the whole house, all of us doing it were artists. Every single one. Artists do well with psychedelics. Not everyone does. I've heard people like non-artists go like, oh no, I don't do mushrooms. I had a bad trip, etc. But essentially, the emotional state that you have when you go into it is really going to influence your experience. And having someone who can talk you through it or who can help give you perspective, etc., really makes a big difference in the experience. So we did the mushrooms, and then we smoked some weed while we're waiting for it to kick in, and then it started kicking in, and then we all kind of did our own thing for a little bit, and then we brought out we'd already brought out a couple canvases and some paints and brushes and stuff. So at some point we started painting, and eventually all of us were painting collaboratively on a single painting, and it was 2 paintings, 2 rectangles, and as we were painting it, we were like, what if you could like change positions on these and it would create a new composition, flip it around like in every, and so then we started painting it like that. So we would be painting and then we'd flip it, and then we'd paint the in between, and we'd adjust the painting, and then we'd change it up again, and we'd change it up again. It was fucking cool. So that was hanging in my buddies got it, but that was hanging up, and then every once in a while we would just like change the orientation, change the arrangement, because it created a new composition. We're like, oh, like this, I see a peacock and all this other stuff. When we flip it, I see a city. Over here, it's a dragon. It was fucking cool. It was really fucking cool. And we were watching Tron Legacy. We made good choices. We did. It was a lot of fun. And I had a revelatory moment that night. And then my buddy, who thought I was having sex with his girlfriend, kind of confronted me about it. And because I was very zen, I was like super zen, I was able to talk him down and make him realize that wasn't what was happening. He was just unhappy in his relationship and trying to find a bad guy to blame so he could break up with his girlfriend. I was like, dude, just be honest with her. Just tell her exactly what you told me, and tell her. But we'll start off by saying nice, because you said nice things. Like you said that she's great and all this other stuff, but just exactly what you told me right now is what you need to tell her. And so we talked it out, and he went and they had a very like cordial breakup, which was nice because things were getting weird. And I was not having sex with his girlfriend. Just, I know some of you are thinking I might have been. I was not. I could have, though. I had the honor of some. Oh yeah, that's back then. That is me responsible. Always a designated driver. First time. Oh yeah, first time. That's right. He broke my pot cherry. So, the CASH-LANDRUM December 29th happened the day before Rendlesham Forest, December 30th. That's true. Could have been the same object. Well, I mean, it would have had to cover a lot of ground. Go from Texas to England, right? I mean, Rendlesham's in England. That would have been a whole thing. Yeah, it is weird that there's. I mean, actually, I didn't really look into the Rendlesham thing. Was it similar? Oh, that's right. We never talked. I asked if you guys wanted me to read about that. Let me see. Where'd it go? This is Berkshire UFO sighting. First generation of encounters. What? Let me know what you guys think about this. Of all the world's unsolved mysteries, those with a paranormal twist. For the Reed family of Massachusetts. Oh, Massachusetts. Oh, okay. Berkshire just sounded British for some reason. Massachusetts is not that far. That's very doable. But that's a different date. Wait, what did you say? Rendlesham Forest. Rendlesham Forest incident. The Rendlesham Forest incident was a series of reported sightings of unexplained lights near Rendlesham Forest in Suffolk, England. It was England that you're talking about. Okay. In December 1980, which became linked with claims of UFO landings. The events occurred just outside of RAF Woodbridge, which was used at the time by the United States Air Force. Okay. And then the other thing I was reading over here was in Massachusetts. And said their encounters spanned 3 generations and entire decades. Whoa. Punctuated by terrifying instances of lost time, encounters with alien creatures, and perhaps even worse, ridicule and harassment for those. The previously obscure case reached a whole new audience when it was featured in the first season of Netflix's Unsolved Mysteries reboot via People. Will anyone come forward to shed a light on just what has been happening to the Reed family? Or will it simply continue to happen to them? Are they destined to keep having mysterious and unexplained encounters? Or is there a rational explanation for what's been happening to them for more than 50 years? What? Oh. Did you guys want to read that? Did you guys want to? I could cut out. I already pulled it up. It's ready to go. Does that interest you? Because I am super down. I'm curious. I know we're already 3 hours in. I try to wrap it up around now, but I can go a little. I'm super. It feels like the right moment to read this. I too was not having sex with his girlfriend. That was the accusation being thrown at me, all right? Things were very weird for a few weeks there. Because essentially at a party, she gave me the green light. But I didn't take it. And but he thought that we had hooked up because we had become friendlier. But yeah, he was just looking for a bad guy. That was it. All right, let's look at this shit. The most famous encounter that the Reed family, consisting of parents Nancy and Howard and their sons Thomas and Matthew, had was in 1969. But according to the alien abduction files, it really started in 1954. Nancy was 15 that year. She, her mother, her brother, and her brother's girlfriend rented a cabin on Massachusetts Moosehead Lake. Nancy and her brother's girlfriend both woke in the middle of the night and later told a similar experience that started with a light streaming into the window. The light illuminated something in the darkness. Two squat, pudgy figures. Pudgy? What? I don't think I've heard of aliens being pudgy. Standing in the room and simply watching them in silence. Nancy recalled that she was unable to move on her own, but could feel her body moving, as though someone or something else was moving her legs for her. The sensation faded as the sun rose, but the nausea remained. The events of that night were the only unexplained occurrence she went through until things started happening to her sons more than a decade later. Okay. Ooh, that one felt good. Did you hear that one? Oh, I'm getting less of those now. Now that I figured out how to get this shit on my back. All right, September 1966, they're back. Thomas Reed's account of the events of 1969 and what led up to them was detailed in alien abduction files. And he told the interviewers that for him, it started in September 1966. It started fairly quietly, with the appearance of orbs that seemed to float around the room. He shared with his brother Matthew. He described a series of lights floating in the air and giving the distinct impression of watching them. Just a few days later, he and his brother both experienced something terrifying, an encounter that started when they were standing on the stairs in their home. They glimpsed two figures and suddenly they were outside, where they were then escorted onto a craft they both described as looking like a turtle shell. Inside, Thomas was shown images of what he believed were galaxy clusters, along with an image of a willow tree that he believed was incredibly important. Inside, Thomas was shown images of what he believed were galaxy clusters, along with an image of a willow tree that he believed was incredibly important. Could that be the tree of life? The brothers were also told that they were going to be part of a study that beings were doing on human genetics and the immune system. And then they woke up back in their bedroom. Well, that's nice. Usually, the aliens don't really brief you on what's going on. Okay, so we're doing a study on the human immune system, and we're using you. Okay. Encounters, the boys say, kept happening. The next year, their mother found them missing. When she tracked them down, they said that a ball of light had appeared outside the bedroom window. They also told of seeing figures standing over their sleeping mother and grandmother, and a repeat visit to the craft. Here's what the Reeds saw in 1969. On September 1st, 1969, Thomas, his mother, brother, and grandmother had just driven across the old covered bridge in Sheffield, Massachusetts. Pictured. This place. Oh, this is where that couple died and met Beetlejuice. According to the telling in the engineering news record, that's when they witnessed a bright light rising from the Housatonic River. Nancy says the alien abduction files knew what was going to happen. And tried to outrun it. Nancy. Okay, sorry. Injecting that in the middle of the sentence is weird. Nancy says Nancy knew what was going to happen and tried to outrun it. The car stalled, though, and they were all suddenly in what Thomas would later describe to Mass Live as what looked like an airplane hangar. He remembered being forced to lie on a table, but he jumped up and ran. He only got glimpses of a single wide open area and some hallways before being returned to the original room, and then they were all back in the car. 2 hours had passed, but to them, it had felt like only a few minutes, and no one had been returned to exactly the same place they had been taken from. Thomas remembered that his grandmother had been in a state of shock, wandering down the middle of the road. His mother, who had been unconscious when he woke, was able to drive them home once he got his grandmother safely back to the car. Why wouldn't they leave them all in the same place? That's kind of a dick move. There were a ton of other witnesses to the UFO sighting. Here's the thing, it wasn't just the Reed family who told the story of something bizarre happening that night. There were a ton of other witnesses. According to Alice Obscura, the local radio station was bombarded with calls from people who were seeing strange lights flashing among the clouds. Some of the 40-odd callers even reported spotting a mysterious craft in the sky. And at the time, it wasn't a matter of people calling to report a UFO. David IC, manager of the station WSBS, says that people didn't know what it was, just that something strange was happening in the skies over their town. In 2018, WGBH spoke to Tom Warner, who was one of the other witnesses. He said his memory of what happened was just as strong as it was on that day. He had been lying out in the yard, stargazing, when suddenly he was looking up at a floating object that flooded him with a beam of light, 20 feet or more in height, probably about 30 to 40 feet around, and it has, as I'm looking now, I can see it. It had lights. The lights were colors I'd never seen in my life. Whoa. The witnesses are adamant, Warner told WGBH. When you see something, it's like, I see you. I see that rock. I see that building. I saw that UFO. Yes, Thomas Reed passed away. Oh, sorry. Yes, Thomas Reed passed a polygraph test. The Reed family was positive about not only what they'd seen, but what they'd experienced. And all had been experiencing for a long time. When Thomas was asked to undergo a polygraph test, he agreed. He passed with flying colors. The results were that he was telling the truth, 99.1%. But that raises an interesting question. How accurate is that? According to the BBC, a lie detector test actually measures an indirect effect of lying. Specifically, it picks up a lot of things like changes in the breath and blood pressure and how much someone's sweating. So basically, it's like author and professor Aldert Bridge says, it does not measure deception, which is the core problem. The idea is that liars will show increased arousal when answering the key question, whereas truth tellers will not. There's a further catch, says forensic psychologist Dr. Sophie Van Der Zee. The polygraph is quite good at identifying lies. It is not very good at identifying truths. That said, experts estimate that if the examiner knows what they're doing, and if there are proper controls in place, then it's between 80 and 90% accurate. Still, it's possible, but very difficult to cheat the system, although a number of things can make for a false reading. The family has struggled with their experiences. Let's address the cynics out there, as well as the inevitable belief that some people claim to have been abducted just for the attention. Thomas Reed says that's not the case at all. He told Boston Globe and his family's experiences have actually made their lives pretty miserable. We know what we saw, and it was not local. It was definitely off-world, and it affected my whole family. And there has been a lot of post-traumatic stress. His mother was a local restaurant owner, and there were plenty of people who stopped by just to turn her day miserable. Thomas himself suffered regular beatings because of it, and it finally got so bad that they first boarded up their house and then moved. Oh, wow. But Thomas says his mother always told him to tell the truth, so he wasn't going to keep quiet. Good. It hasn't helped us in any way to talk about it. We're not making any money. This has tarnished our life. This has smeared our family's name. It can only hurt you when someone Googles your name. But when you have something extraordinary like this happen to you, how do you keep a lid on it? A historical society confirmed the 1969 UFO sighting as an official part of history. A quick flip through most mainstream history books will give you a lot of information about things like wars, kings conquering, and alien encounters, not so much, which makes it weird that the area's local history museum, the Great Barrington History Society and Museum, inducted the Reed UFO case into their archives in 2015. According to the Boston Globe, the group believes it's the first time an actual historical society has done that. and it's the first time a UFO encounter has been recognized as historical fact. Debbie Opperman, the society's director at the time, had this to say: "I know we're going to get a lot of backlash. We're going to get hammered, but we have given it an awful lot of thought, and based on the evidence we've been given, we believe this is a significant and true event." A third of the board's members were opposed to the decision, and 3 years later, they backtracked. Lame, but just a bit. Okay. New executive director Robert Kroll told WGBH, "I think the Historical Society regrets that our words or our decision has been taken out of context. They weren't, as it appeared, saying the Reed family had definitely been abducted by aliens. What they were saying was that something monumental clearly happened that night over that area. So many people reported seeing something that there had to have been something in the skies, right? 2009 encounter provided physical evidence." Oh shit, one of the things that was distinctly lacking in the tale was physical evidence, but according to the retelling, the alien abduction files, the Reeds got that in 2009. It was Matthew Reed who was driving along in his SUV one night, late after dropping off a friend. He stopped at a traffic light and suddenly found himself parked near a cornfield. His boots were covered with mud, an hour had passed, and he immediately reached out to the Mutual UFO Network, or MUFON. MUFON sent out a response team and found magnetic anomalies centered around the SUV. Compass needles went crazy when passed along the surface of the vehicle. They also documented radiation readings around the vehicle and noted that there were no other nearby places which yielded the same readings. And the same test performed on other vehicles didn't yield the same results either. MUFON has a pedigree worth mentioning too. They were founded in 1969, and their first director was Alan Utke, associate professor of chemistry at Wisconsin State University. They have strict guidelines about applying the scientific method of field research and have come to the conclusion that there are unexplained events in our world that are genuinely worthy of further scientific investigation. Reed says the story has been terribly sensationalized. The story popped up in various television shows. When he was featured on Uncover Aliens, says the experiences were blown so out of proportion that they became a story of medical experimentation, a story he definitely didn't tell. Each time Thomas told Mass Live, researchers and producers promised to take them seriously and report the story as it was told. That hasn't happened yet. That's sad. They're trying to tell the truth and other people are just blowing it up. The papers and the stories have gotten so ridiculous that the truth has been lost. First of all, they kept using the cornball terminology you might find the abduction stuff. That's not what happened. Our family is very credible. We're not a bunch of lunatics. Thomas Reed has gone out of his way to try and set the record straight. In 2016, he made a public appearance at the Sky Butternut Resort, hoping to clear up some of the misconceptions. He says pop culture gets wrong over and over again. There was a controversial monument commemorating the event. In 2015, a 5,000-pound granite monument near the Sheffield Covered Bridge pictured was installed. It included a plaque from the office of Governor Charlie Baker, which read, "This governor's citation is recognition of the off-world incident on September 1st, 1969, which engaged the Reed family, which has been established." But not everyone was thrilled to have a monument erected in the town, and over the next 4 years, it was a source of a lot of debate. Almost immediately after it was installed, it had to be moved. According to the Berkshire Edge, officials said that it had been put on town land without the proper permits and authorization. Although spokesperson Thom Reed says the monument had permissions to be placed there from one of the town's assessors. The monument was very quickly covered in graffiti, and even the Historical Society that had confirmed the Reed family story as true decided to stay out of the fight, which came to at least a temporary halt in 2019 when the town removed both the monument and a bench that had been installed nearby. What did the bench do to anyone? UFO sightings in the area are nothing new. There's one thing that the Reed family can take from it. It's the fact that they're in relatively esteemed company. Thanks to them, Massachusetts is the site of a historically accepted UFO sighting. A Boston magazine says America's first recorded. It's also the location of America's first recorded sighting too. In 1639, Massachusetts Bay Colony founder John Winthrop recorded a story that 3 of his colonists had relayed to him. They claimed that while they were, 1639, they claimed that while they were rowing in the fens, they saw a massive great light speeding back and forth between their general area and Charlestown. Strange? Definitely. But Winthrop clearly thought it was strange enough and from a reputable enough source that he recorded it. Notably, New England Today says that in 1808, a Massachusetts woman working in Maine recorded seeing something similar in her diary. A light that lowered toward the ground and kept on an equal distance sometimes ascending and sometimes descending. Is there something about people from Massachusetts that attracts extraterrestrial attention? Is it really an unsolved mystery? Who believes in this stuff? Okay, so now we're getting into this stuff. So this is the end of the thing. And according to, 1969, there's something strange going on. The prevalence of UFO extraterrestrial encounters. Business was booming in the 90s, largely thanks to X-Files. As we push into the 21st century, fewer and fewer reported sightings, and things got so slow that many established research groups started to disband. But fast forward a decade, Hillary Clinton promises to reveal what the government really knows about aliens. Aliens are back on TV, and according to a 2015 poll by Ipsos, 45% of people believe in aliens. That's up from even in 1990, when an estimated 27% believed, and 2005, when it hovered around 24%. Oh, that's a big jump just from 2005 to 2015 then. Why the shift? They suggest that Americans have become so disenchanted with the state of affairs these days that we're more likely than ever to explore alternatives to mainstream science and religion. So basically, things are so bad, let's look elsewhere. Huh. Not a bad hypothesis. But damn. Sorry, I just went straight through that without looking at the chat at all. But let me see. Yes, it was. Become friendlier. What a nice way to put it. Moosehead Lake in Maine? We went many summers growing up. What? I may have heard wrong. No, I think you heard correctly. Berkshire, Massachusetts. Bench inflicted splinters. Bench manufactured by Nail Snaggy Pants. Nail Snaggy Pants. All right, y'all. It's time for bed. Well, I mean, I've got some work to do, but I'm pretty sure most of y'all are going to bed or waking up. But I am definitely going to knock out at some point soon because I was getting kind of tired here. So it's time to sign off. Say my goodbyes. Buenos nachos. Mwah. Much love to everyone out there. Thank you so much. By the way, I noticed that the clips back here on StreamYard have a little timer. It tells you how long they are. That's fucking awesome. That's fucking awesome. I love it. I love it. It's so good. But yeah, it's bedtime, y'all. Good night, everybody. Good night, Tina. Buenas noches, señorita. Good night. Yeah, it's my pleasure, Dr. Foreman class. I love talking about this stuff. It's been a good night. Y'all take care of yourselves. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Second star to the right. And straight on till morning.
Set a course. For home.
I'm reading an ion storm on that trajectory, sir. Should I go around it?
We can't be afraid of the wind, Ensign. Take us to Warp 4.
It is the unknown that defines our existence. We are constantly searching, not just for answers to our questions, but for new questions. We are explorers. We explore our lives, day by day. And we explore the galaxy, trying to expand the boundaries of our knowledge. And that is why I am here. Not to conquer you with weapons or with ideas, but to coexist and learn.
Let's see what's out there.
Engage.